The session is now called to order. Everybody is requested to rise for the singing of the national anthem.
Bayang magiliw, telos ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisingil, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit kong bakaw, may nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdidinig, ang bituin ng araw niya kailan pang ay magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng maraming pagsinta, buhay ay langit sa piling ko. Aming ligaya dapat may mamapit, magmamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please remain standing for a minute of silent prayer. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we defer the calling of the roll.
Any objection? Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we defer the approval of the journal.
Any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Reference. Mr. Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as communications and committee reports. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The same is approved. The Secretary General is so directed.
Reference of business, bills on first reading. House Bill 8188, amending investment in decisions in Commonwealth Act number 541, Representative Gatchalian.
To the Committee on Public Works and Highways.
House Bill 8189, institutionalizing the NEDA as independent economic and planning agency of the Philippine government, Representative Gatchalian.
To the Committee on Economic Affairs.
House Bill 8190, strengthening and modernizing the warehouse receipts law of the Philippines, Representative Gatchalian.
To the Committee on Trade and Industry.
House Bill 8191, providing for additional organizational, operational, developmental funding to the COMELEC, Representative Romero.
To the Committee on Suffrage and Electoral Reforms.
House Bill 8192, granting Philippine citizenship to Kitson Soriano Co., Representative Subiri.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 8193, creating the National Road Safety Board, Representative Castelo.
To the Committee on Government Reorganization and the Committee on Transportation.
Resolutions, House Solution 2153, commending, congratulating Ms. Yuka Sasso for winning twin gold medals, Representative Silverio.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Solution 2154 and 2160, congratulating, commending Marjeline Didal, Representative Gomez and Alejano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Solution 2155, expressing the collective sentiment of the members of the House, denouncing the baseless, unlawful, and improvident revocation of the grant of amnesty, Representatives Lagman, Daza, and several others.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Solution 2156, inquiring to the Committee on Transportation on the sufficiency of Philippine maritime safety standards, Representative Manalo.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Solution 2557, urging the PSA for the inclusion of a National Senior Citizens Registry, Representative Aquino Magsaysay.
To the Special Committee on Senior Citizens.
House Solution 2158, congratulating the Filipino athletes for their commendable accomplishments in the 2018 Asian Games, Representative Nieto.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Solution 2559, direct the appropriate House Committee to review the effectiveness of the national government, specifically the DND and the AFP, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2161 urging the national government to provide greater support to Philippine athletes, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 2162 strongly condemning the slaying of Pamana, a 3-year-old Philippine eagle recently released in Mount Hamigitan Range, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2163 extolling the virtues of environmental awareness, Representative Alejano.
To the Committee on Ecology.
House Resolution 2164 the joint investigation of the House Committees on Public Works and Highways and Transportation to investigate the impending demolition of thousands of houses to give way for the NLEX-SLEX Connector Road, Representative Zarate.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 2165 urging the House Committee on Appropriations to restore the 584 million budget slashed by the DBM, Representatives Ilago, Zarate, several others.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
House Resolution 2166 honoring commending the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos of 2018, Representative Babier.
To the Committee on Rules.
Message from the Senate, message dated September 10, informing the House the Senate even date adopted Senate Concurrent Resolution number 13.
To the Committee on Rules.
Communication letter dated 3 September of Jose R. Fajardo, Director and Head, LAIG.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Committee reports, report numbers 851 and 852 on House Bill numbers 8205 and 8206.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we would like to acknowledge the presence in the gallery of the guests of the Honorable Jeffrey Conghun from the 1st District of Zambales. They are the Barangay Council members and other officials of Barangay East Bahak-Bahak, Olongapo City, and Barangay Council members and other officials of Barangay Mabayuan, Olongapo City.
The guests of the Honorable Conghun, please rise. We welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Your Honor, we would like also to acknowledge the presence in the gallery of the guests of the Honorable Sherwin Tugna of Citizens Battle Against Corruption, SIBAC Party List. They are Vice Mayor Christian Esposo, Barangay Kagawad Ron Isidro, and SIBAC Scholar from Ramon Magsaysay Technological University.
To the guests of the Honorable Tugna, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, we would like also to acknowledge the guests of the Honorable Cheryl De Losa Montalia. They are Honorable Charles Santiago, Member of the Parliament from Malaysia and Chairperson of the ASEAN Parliamentarians for Human Rights, Honorable Kasit Peromia, former Member of Parliament from Thailand and former Foreign Minister from Thailand, Secretariat of the ASEAN Parliamentarians for Human Rights, and Secretariat of the Asia-Pacific Refugee Rights Network.
To the guests of
Your
the
Honor,
Honorable,
we request that they be acknowledged and welcomed in this gathering.
to the guests of the Honorable De Loso Montalia, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session is resumed.
Mr. Speaker, we would like also to acknowledge the guests of the Honorable Marisol Panotes from the 2nd District of Camarines Norte. They are the guests from Barangay 2, Poblacion, Binsons, Camarines Norte.
The guests of the Honorable Panotes, please rise. We welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, we would like also to acknowledge the presence of the guests of Honorable Luisa Loren Quaresma from the Lone District of Nueva Vizcaya. They are the officials of the local government unit of Municipality of Dia de Nueva Vizcaya.
The guests of the Honorable Quaresma, we welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we call the roll of members.
Secretary General is directed to call the roll of members.
Roll call of members, honorable representatives. Abaya, Abayon, Abellanosa, Abu, Abuek, Acharon, Akop, Acosta, Acosta Alba, Adyong, Advincula, Agarao, Agabao, Albano, Alcala, Alejano, Almario, Almonte, Alonte, Alvarez Franz, Alvarez Mercedes, Alvarez Pantaleon, Amante, Amatong, Andaya, Angara Castillo, Antonino, Antonio, Aquino Magsaysay, Aragones, Arbizon, Arcillas, Arenas, Atienza, Aumentado, Bagao, Bagatsing, Bagilat, Banal, Barbers, Barzaga, Batawil, Batocabe, Bautista Bandigan, Belaro, Belmonte Feliciano, Belmonte Jose Christopher, Belmonte Ricardo, Benitez, Bernos, Bertiz, Biazon, Billones, Biron, Bolilla, Bondok, Bordado, Bravo Anthony, Bravo Maria Vida, Brosas, Bulut Bigtang, Cagas, Kalalang, Calderon, Calixto Rubiano, Caminero, Campos, Canama, Cari, Casilao, Castelo, Castro Franz, Castro Fredinil, Catamco, Cayetano, Celeste, Seráfica, Ceriles, Chavez, Chipeco, Coanco, Collantes, Cortés, Cortuna, Cosalán, Crisólogo, Cua, Quaresma, Cueva, Dalipe, Datol, Daza, De Jesus, De Venecia, De Vera, Defensor, Del Mar, Del Rosario, Del Oso Montalia, Dimaporo Abdullah, Dimaporo Khalid, Duavit, Durano, D, Elago, Enverga, Erice, Erigel, Ermita Buhain, Escudero, Espina, Espino, Estrella, Eusebio, Evardone, Fariñas, Fernando, Ferrer Juliet, Ferrer Luis, Ferriol Pascual, Floirendo, Flores, Fortuno, Fuentebella, Garbin, Garcia Gwendolyn, Garcia Jose Enrique, Garcia Albano, Garin Richard, Garin Sharon, Gasataya, Gatchalian, Heron, Go Ana Cristina, Go Mark, Gomez, Gonzaga, Gonzalez Alexandria, Gonzalez Aurelio, Gonzalez Fernando, Goriseta, Gulyas, Hernandez, Herrera D, Hoffer, Halushos, Javier, Konghun, Labad-Labad, Lacson, Lagman, Lanete, Laogan, Lazatin, Liachon, Lee, Lim Kai Chong, Lobregat, Lopez Benher, Lopez Carlo, Lopez Manuel, Loyola, Macapagal Arroyo, Maceda, Madrona, Malapitan, Manalo, Mangawang, Mangudadato Suharto, Mangudadato Sajid, Marcoleta, Marcos, Mariño, Marquez, Martinez, Matugas, Meliana, Mending, Mendoza, Mercado, Mirasol, Montoro, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Carlo, Nolasco, Nunez Malañaon, Owaminal, Ocampo, Olivares, Ong Edwin, Ong Henry, Ortega Pablo, Ortega Vini, Pacquiao, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panganiban, Panotes, Papandayan, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Primicias Agabas, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramirez Sato, Ramos, Relampagos, Revilla, Roapuno, Robes, Rocamora, Rodriguez Isidro, Rodriguez Maximo, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Romualdo, Roque, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sahali, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salon, Sambar, Sandoval, Sangkopan, Santos Recto, Sarmiento Cesar, Sarmiento Edgar, Savellano, Sema, Chao, Silverio, Singson, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez, C. Alvarado, Tambunting, Tan Angelina, Tan Milagrosa, Tan Sherney, Tejada, Teves, Tianco, Ting, Tiño, Tolentino, Treñas, Tugna, Tupas, Ti, Umali, Unabia, Ungab, Unico, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Uy Barreta, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velarde, Velasco Lord, Velasco Catera, Veloso, Vergara, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Villarin, Violago, Yap Arthur, Yap Melesio, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Maria Carmen, Zamora Ronaldo, Zarate, Zubiri. The Honorable Speaker is present. Mr. Speaker, the roll call shows that 207 members responded to the call.
Mr. Speaker. With 207 members responding to the call, the Chair declares the presence of a quorum.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
The Honorable Chensa.
yes, we would like to manifest a credit to the Secretariat that they are now counting accurately presence of the members on the floor. And for that, we would like to have a continuing congratulations to them. Obviously,
Yes, sir.
they have either used better glasses now or they have realized that we have to be accurate in our roll call count. Again, our continuing congratulations to them. Thank you.
sir.
We take note of the manifestation. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the House and the Senate have adopted House Concurrent Resolution Number 20 and Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 13, respectively, entitled Concurrent Resolution in urging the Commission on Elections to reset to October 11 to 17, 2018, from October 1 to 5, 2018, the filing of the certificates of candidacy in connection with the May 13, 2019 national and local elections. In accordance with our rules, I move that we adopt Senate Concurrent Resolution Number 13 as an amendment to House Concurrent Resolution Number 20.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, the House and the Senate have approved on third reading House Bill number 7191 and Senate Bill number 452 respectively, regulating the practice of criminology profession in the Philippines. We have been informed that the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation, a sponsor of House Bill number 7191, as well as the authors thereof, are in concurrence with the provisions of Senate Bill number 452. In accordance with our rules, I move that we adopt Senate Bill number 452 as an amendment to House Bill number 7191.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Same is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, may we request that the guests of Honorable Eleanor C. Bulot Bigtang, Congresswoman from the Lone District of Apayao, be recognized. They are headed by Mayor Leonardo Dangoy, Municipal Mayor of Caner Apayao, and Honorable Martin Lawat, Municipal Mayor of Calanasan and Association of Barangay Officials, Province of Apayao.
The guests of the Honorable Bulut Bektang, please rise. We welcome you to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, we would like also to request that the guests of Honorable Siriaco Calalang of Kabayan Party List, namely Engineer Tony De La Cruz, Mr. Ricky Foronda, and Mr. Renato Johnson, be recognized.
The guests of the Honorable Kalalang, please rise. Welcome to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, may we also request that the guests of Honorable Sherwin Tugna of Sibak and Honorable June Datol of Senior Citizens Party List be recognized. The delegation is headed by Provincial Election Supervisor Attorney Mona Aldana Campos, Attorney Imelda Panis, Mr. Amir Serodo, Mr. Rex Julius de Guzman, Mr. Gerard Aquino, Mr. Robert Aquino, Maria Victoria Parulan, and Ms. Catherine Javier.
The guests of the Honorable Tugna and the Honorable Datol, welcome to the House of Representatives.
Mr. Speaker, under the business for the day, I move that we consider House Resolution 1908 as contained in Committee Report number 767. With this, Mr. Speaker, I move that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the resolution.
Secretary General is directed to read the aforementioned resolution.
House Resolution 1908, resolution proclaiming the month of September of every year as Philippine Bamboo Month.
Wala ako. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of House Resolution 1908.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Resolution number 1908 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 1772 as contained in Committee Report 769. For this, Mr. Speaker, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolution.
Secretary General is so directed.
House Resolution 1772, resolution requesting His Excellency President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to increase the budget for fiscal year 2019 for the programs, projects for micro, small, and medium enterprises, specifically the Kapatid Mentor Me program, the Shared Service Facilities project, and the trade fairs of the Bureau of Domestic Trade Promotion.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 1772.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. House Resolution number 1772 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution number 1771 as contained in Committee Report 770. With this, Mr. Speaker, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolution.
Secretary General is so directed.
House Resolution 1771, resolution requesting His Excellency President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to allocate 6 billion pesos in the fiscal year 2019 budget for the Pondo sa Pagbabago at Pag-asenso P3 program being implemented by the Department of Trade and Industry through the Small Business Corporation.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution number 1771.
is there any objection? The chair is none. House Resolution 1771 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 1988 as contained in Committee Report 798. Mr. Speaker, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolution.
The Secretary General is so directed.
House Resolution 1988, a resolution urging the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council and its agency members to formulate and submit to Congress their specific and general plans of action before, during, and after the eventuality of the big one or a major earthquake in Metro Manila.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 1988.
is there any objection? The chair is none. House Resolution number 1988 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 2055 as contained in Committee Report number 810. May I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolution.
The Secretary General is so directed.
House Resolution 2055, resolution urging President Rodrigo R. Duterte to invite regional and national stakeholders to a consultative assembly in preparation for the commemoration of the quinticennial arrival of Ferdinand Magellan in the Philippines.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2055.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. House Resolution 2055 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 1688 as contained in Committee Report 612. May I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolutions.
The Secretary General is directed to read House Resolution 1688.
House Resolution 1688, resolution commending the ACES Credit Development Incorporated Multipurpose Cooperative for its outstanding achievements and leadership in the upliftment and development of its members in the countryside.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 1688.
is there any objection? The chair is none. House Resolution number 1688 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 1700 as contained in Committee Report 616. With this, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolution.
The Secretary General is so directed.
House Resolution 1700, resolution commending the Victo National Federation for its outstanding achievements and valuable contributions in uplifting communities by promoting self-reliance and cooperativism.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 1700.
170. Is there any objection? The chair is none. House Resolution 1700 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we consider House Resolution 1703 as contained in Committee Report 618. May I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolution.
The Secretary General is so directed.
House Resolution 1703, resolution commending the San Dionisio Credit Cooperative for its pioneering cooperativism in the country and for its outstanding leadership and achievements in the economic upliftment of its members and its contributions to national development.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 1703.
is there any objection? The chair is none. House Resolution 1703 is hereby adopted.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution 2152. May I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said resolution.
Secretary General is so directed.
House Resolution 2152, a resolution honoring and commending the Metrobank Foundation Outstanding Filipinos of 2018.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we adopt House Resolution 2152.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. House Resolution 2152. In consolidation with House Resolution 780,
Your Honor, in consolidation with House Resolution number 2079, 2095, 2097, and 2166.
is there any objection? Chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 8176 as contained in Committee Report number 846.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, copies of the bill have been previously distributed to the members. I request, therefore, that the Secretary General be instructed to read the title of the bill. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Secretary General is directed.
House Bill 8176, an act renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Radio World Broadcasting Corporation under Republic Act number 8219, entitled An Act Granting Radio World Broadcasting Corporation a franchise to construct, install, establish, operate, and maintain radio and television broadcasting stations in the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the committee of the 1st District of Palawan, Franz Alvarez, be recognized to begin his sponsorship of the measure.
The Honorable Alvarez is recognized to begin the sponsorship of the measure.
Mr. Speaker, may I request that the explanatory note be entered as the sponsorship speech?
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we open the period of interpellations.
Is there an objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpellate, we move to close the period of interpellation.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Period of interpellation is hereby closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to introduce amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 8176.
All those in favor of the measure, please say aye. Aye. All those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 8176 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 8177 as contained in the committee report number 847.
Secretary General is directed to read House Bill 8177.
House Bill 8177, an act renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Raha Broadcasting Network, Inc., to construct, install, establish, operate, and maintain radio and television broadcasting stations in the Philippines under Republic Act Number 4505, as amended by Republic Act Number 8104.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, Honorable Franz Alvarez, be recognized to begin his sponsorship of the measure.
The Honorable Alvarez is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, may I request that the explanatory note be entered as the sponsorship speech.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of interpellations.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpellate, I move that we close the period of interpellations.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to introduce individual amendments, I move that we close the period of individual amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 8177.
All those in favor of House Bill 8177, please say aye. All those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 8177 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 8175 of Committee Report number 845 and ask the Secretary General be instructed to read the title of the bill and so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Secretary General is directed to read the aforementioned measure.
House Bill 8175, an act renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Southern Broadcasting Network, Inc. under Republic Act Number 8147, entitled An Act Granting Southern Broadcasting Network a franchise to construct, maintain, establish, and operate commercial radio, television, broadcasting stations in the Philippines.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the chairperson of the Committee on Legislative Franchises be recognized to begin his sponsorship of the measure.
The Honorable Franz Alvarez is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, may I request again that the explanatory note be entered as the sponsorship speech.
Majority Leader.
With that, Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of interpellations.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there be no member who wishes to interpellate. I move that we close the period of interpellations.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to introduce individual amendments, I move that we close the period of individual amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 8175 with Committee Report 845. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
All those in favor of House Bill 8175, please say aye. All those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 8175 is hereby approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker, I move for a few minutes of suspension.
Session suspended.
Yun ang gusto nila? O ito? O ito? Haba niya. Sige yun. Ay, tatanong mo siya. Asan na ba sila? For your indulgence. Don't ask. Gambal nga rin. Wala akong ano.
Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we acknowledge the guests of Deputy Speaker Reneo Rani Abu. They are the Soroptimist International of the Municipality of Mabini, 2nd District of Batangas, headed by Dr. Rowena Hernandez.
The guests of the Honorable Deputy Speaker Abu, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of unfinished business, I move that we resume consideration of House Bill number 8165 as contained in the committee report number 842, and may I ask the Secretary General to be directed to read the title of the bill.
The Secretary General is directed to read House Bill 8165.
House Bill 8165, an act creating the Department of Disaster Resilience, defining its powers and functions, and appropriating funds therefor.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on... Sir, ano nga ang committee po? Committee on Committee on National Defense and Security. Oh. And may we recognize the author, Congressman Joey Salceda of the 2nd District of Albay.
The Honorable Joey Salceda is recognized.
Thank you.
You're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The committee is ready to answer.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of interpellation.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from Lone District of Iligan City, Representative Frederick Shao.
The Honorable Shao is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In 2011, I witnessed firsthand the horrors of Tropical Storm Sendong, which killed thousands in Mindanao and heavily hitting my hometown of Iligan City. The damaged crops and infrastructures affected the lives of over 65,000 families. That was 7 years ago, Mr. Speaker. I was then a member of the Sangguniang Panglungsod of the city of Iligan. Today, a masterfully crafted bronze structure of a girl riding a log serves as a memorial for us of that fateful moment in our city's history. The sculpture is based on the story of one of the survivors, the little girl who, to outlive flash floods, rode a log from Barangay Digilian, Iligan City, and was safely recovered in the municipality of Bacolod in the province of Lanao del Norte. The epic ride's total distance covered over 90 kilometers. In the same way that the bronze model was made a year after Sendong, the National Operational Assessment of Hazards, Project NOAA, was created. Like the resilience of the girl who rode a log, the creation of Project NOAA has given us hope for the future. From the time it was established, Project NOAA researchers have provided reliable and timely information that empowers communities, which resulted to my constituents having the feeling of security, knowing lives will be saved from the threats of natural hazards. For this reason, I, as the representative of Iligan City, strongly recommend that Project NOAA be heavily supported by the national government. I recommend that Project NOAA be attached to the proposed Department of Disaster Resilience being crafted by Congress. I recommend that Project NOAA be linked to the soon-to-be-formed Department of Disaster Resilience for coordination and liaison purposes in the same way. That agencies, PAG-ASA and PhilBox, will become attached agencies of the DDR as provided in the consolidated bill entitled Disaster Resilience Act of 2018, approved this August by the Joint Committee on National Defense and Government Reorganization. However, it would still be good for Project NOAA's headquarters to stay at the University of the Philippines, so it will retain its focus on facts and sciences as well as interface with the social sciences, while being partly insulated from organizational politics of a cabinet-level department. Project NOAA can be strengthened so it can have more management flexibility and operations maneuverability and really be like most attached agencies. It is of utmost importance that the Project NOAA becomes an integral part of the country's calamity mitigation, adoption, and response efforts through regular funding under the Department of Disaster Resilience. With that, Mr. Speaker, I would like to end my manifestation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, as the next member who wishes to interpolate, may I recognize Representative Tom Villarin of Party List Akbayan.
The Honorable Villarin is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would a good sponsor be open to some questions?
Opo.
Well, Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, this proposed measure seeks to amend the existing disaster response framework of government, and because this measure also would in a way replace that existing framework, the law that was passed sometime in 2010. My initial query on this matter, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, would be, was there a comprehensive review? Because I think under the 2010 law, after 5 years of the law's implementation, there should be a comprehensive review of that law.
Unang-una, Your Honor, this bill actually, ang ginamit pong pinakauna na draft ay nakabase po doon sa resulta o output ng Sunset Review na nagsimula po noong May 16, 2015 hanggang po nakarating po ng natapos po ng bandang Mayo ng 2016. So nagsimula, halos isang taon po yung Sunset Review po, Your Honor.
So, noong 2015, kasi meron hong sinasabi nating mga, well, basically the weaknesses of the law.
Opo.
At can we basically enumerate dun po sa ating review, ano yung mga katangi-tanging pagkukulang ng ating Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Policy.
Yung pinakabuod po, Your Honor, kasi yung insight po na nanggaling sa panahon po nung mangyari po ang Yolanda. May batas na po tayo, Republic Act 10121, na pinirmahan po noong 2010. Subalit po, marami pa rin namatay, marami pa rin po ang na-damage. Sa mga tweet, Your Honor, nung sinuri, mukhang yung ating pong kapasidad ng Estado na gampanan ng kanilang tungkulin sa harap po, sa gitna po ng lahat po ng peligro, whether climatological or hydrometeorological or geological, ay hindi po nabo. Sa mga tweet, Your Honor, doon po sa Yolanda, nagpapatunay po yung kakulangan po ng gobyerno nasyonal upang pong matunugunan yung isang pangyayari. Halimbawa po, Your Honor, doon sa Yolanda, ang pinakabuod po noon, ito po isang catastrophe. Subalit, inasa po natin, dahil yun po naman talagang tama, doon po sa local government. Sa mga tweet nung tinakbo po natin para harapin yon, mukhang hindi na po nagkulang po dahil yung ating pong balangkas, yung ating pong organisasyon ay isang konseho at di isang departamento. Actually, ang NDRRMC po, Your Honor, ay isang konseho ng halos lahat po ng mga departamento kung saan po may ina-assign po para sa disaster preparedness, may ina-assign po sa warning, may ina-assign po sa response and relief, at may ina-assign po, halimbawa, sa pagpapanumbalik o building back, yan po ang NEDA. So ito pong pagka-segment, halos po o yung pagka-diffuse ng mga functions over so many departments, for Your Honor, ay yan po ay isa sa managing weakness nung balangkas. Kaya ito pong batas na to, kung yung Republic Act 10121 organize the local effort, ito pong pinapanukal po natin, organizes the national effort.
So sa makatuwid, sinasabi po ni Ginoong Sponsor na dahil sa nangyari ng Yolanda, okay, ang naging problema natin ay yung batas. No? Dahil yung batas na yan ay isang konseho. No?
Opo, tama po.
Pero ang dito sa ating panukala, ay meron ding i-create na dalawang Department of Disaster Resilience at saka yung National Disaster Resilience Council.
Tama po.
So sa makatuwid, meron pa rin kayong konseho, meron kayong isang departamento na kung saan, sabi natin, unang-una, yung usapin ho ng disaster ay talagang hindi kaya yan ng isang departamento. No?
Tama po.
At ngayon, gusto natin mag-create ng isang departamento.
Pero yung number one po, Your Honor, yung konsehong sinasabi dyan po ay advisory board na lamang po. At isang instrumento po para sa isang whole of government approach dahil economy, nasabi na nga po na hindi po kaya ng iisa lang, kundi kailangan po ang tulungan ng lahat po ng mga instrumento ng Estado upang pong harapin ang pataas ng pataas at patindi na patindi epekto po ng climate change. Pati na mismo po ang bilang isang paghanda sa mga anong pwede mangyari dahil po sa ating pong characteristics bilang isang bansa, lalong-lalo na geological. Subalit, para po masagot ang inyong tanong, Your Honor, halimbawa po, pagkatapos ng Yolanda, hanggang ngayon po, 5 taon na po, ilang porsyento na ba na-relocate? Yung na-relocate po, wala pa ata po sa 20%. Tinatanong ko po yung eksaktong data. Sa matwid, Your Honor, ay dahil po yung inasaw natin pagkatapos ng Yolanda, kailangan po tayo mag-create ng isang task force, ng isang office of tinatawag nating OPAR, para po isagawa po yung rehabilitation at recovery po nung mga affected areas po ng Yolanda.
Well, kung ganun po, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, ang sinasabi natin ay mukhang may problema, samot-saring problema dun sa implementasyon. No? Hindi lamang siguro sa usapin ng pabahay. No? Dahil nga, again, sabi nga natin, merong sa isang national disaster framework, merong 4 no, na yugto or
Tama
sinasabi nating stages ng response. No? Kaya nga sa kasalukuyang batas, sa framework, meron kang preparedness. No? Nandito ho yung ating Well, Chairperson for Preparedness, yan po ay nakalagak
Sa
no,
DILG.
DILG, yung ating response, no? Yan po ay sa DSWD at mitigation, prevention and mitigation, again DOST, no? At yung recovery and rehabilitation,
NEDA.
sa NEDA dahil mas ito'y pang matagalan, no? So ibig sabihin, yung pagtugon sa isang disaster po ay isang komprehensibo, holistic, at talagang hindi kakayanin ng isang departamento. Kung ganun po, yung magiging pagtanaw natin dito, ang nakakapagtataka, bakit kailangan magtayo ng isang departamento? Dahil nga ang problema, ang sinasabi, ang premise ay hindi kaya siya ng isang departamento lamang, no?
Ang mas hindi ko kaya, dahil yun na po ang nangyari, hindi ko kinaya ng existing framework. Dahil po ito ay isang konseho na diffused po yung mga functions at kanya-kanya pong asa o kumbaga access doon po sa mga kakailanganing pondo. Samantalang dito po sa panukala, yung buong calamity fund po ay magiging sa ilalim po mismo ng departamentang to at sila na mismo po ang accountable simulat sa poll at wala na pong ibang pwedeng sisihin. Halimbawa po, una, sa risk reduction, dahil yun po ang risk mitigation or prevention, yan po ang pinakauna. Dahil paano po, halimbawa, maiaasa po sa DILG, ay maiaasa po sa DOST. Samantalang po, ang risk reduction po ay napakalaki pong usapin. At kailangan po, sa halimbawa po, ako bilang isang dating gobernador po, Your Honor, ang isang pinaka-instrumento po dyan ay comprehensive land use planning. Subalit po ang DILG, wala hong sapat o masasabi po natin ay marami po silang mandato para po sa good governance lalong-lalo na sa local governments. At isa lang po to sa napakarami, kasama na po dyan yung pag-manage po ng peace and order. Sa mga tweet po, kung hindi ginagawa, halimbawa, ng isang local government, ang comprehensive land use plan, at ang pagdi-disaster proof o pagpapasok ng science o pagpapasok po, yung ating pong mga local governments, overloaded din po ng mga misyon na itinakda po ng Kongreso. So, sa akin pong 9 na taon bilang governor, hindi po kinakaya po ng DILG na magbigay po ng capacity building. Pero itong departamento to, siya mismo po, siya po ang ultimately responsible of building the capacity of the local governments in reducing the risk essentially through comprehensive land use planning, through disaster proofing and climate proofing po ng kanila pong mga development programs.
Well, sang-ayon po ako doon, no, na kailangan talagang tutukan, no, yung preparedness, no, dahil nga sa kasalukuyang batas, nakatutok ang DILG sa disaster preparedness, no? Hindi ho yung during and after, no, ng pagtama ng isang disaster. At siguro nung ginawa yung batas noong 2010, kaya naatasan ang DILG dahil alam naman ho natin na yung DILG
ang nagsusupervise sa amin.
Hindi lang sa nagsusupervise, kundi meron talaga siyang struktura hanggang sa municipal level. Merong mga MLGOO at meron ding mga kaakibat na attached agencies, no? Like the Bureau of Fire Protection, nandyan po yung sinasabi natin PNP na ilalim din sa kagawaran ng interior at local government. So sa makatuwid, yung DILG ay isa ng komprehensibong institusyon, no? Komprehensibong departamento na kaya niyang kumbaga tumagos, no, hanggang munisipyo, hanggang barangay. Ngayon kung yan po ay tatanggalin natin at ilalagay sa isang departamento, sa tingin nyo kaya ang itong departamento na to ay kayang mag-deploy ng mga tagapag-ayos or gagawa, no, ng disaster preparedness hanggang municipal or even barangay level?
Nandito po, isa po sa mga tinalaga na provision po, Your Honor, yung kanila pong mismong pagbubuo po ng departamento upang pong mapangalagaan po ang lahat ng local government bilang isang partner po ng national government para po sa pag-reduce ng risk, sa pag-reduce po na pag-respond po sa disaster at pagbibigay po ng relief at sa mga at sa pagpapanumbalik ko sa recovery and rehabilitation, Your Honor. Ang isa lang naman po dyan, isa po itong judgment call po ng Kongreso. At ako naman po bilang isa sa mga author, bilang experience ko po bilang governor, nakikita ko po na sa panahon po ng disaster, hindi po ako tumatakbo sa DILG. Hindi po ako tumatakbo. Yan po ay nandito na po yung batas for 6 years. Dahil po ako governor from 2007 to 2016. Dahil meron po silang PLGOO pero iisa lang po. Mas kinocover po nila yung napakarami po ng mga ordinansa, batas. Kasama na po dyan yung implementation ng ating pong Persons with Disability Law. Kasama na po dyan isang buong mundo po ng mga batas na itinalaga po ang LGU na siyang magiging instrumento po sa pag-implement po ng napakaraming pong batas. Sa Metiod Honor, pag ganitong mga panahon, ako po'y tumatakbo talaga sa OCD. Then mas alam ko po na mas mabibigyan po ng pansin ang kailangan po ng isang local government unit upang pong harapin ang isa pong disaster o impending o imminent disaster.
Well, alam po natin na marami ding gawain yung mga LGU at mga mandato. And in fact, even disaster preparedness ay kasama yan doon sa mga basic services na dapat paghandaan ng isang LGU. Naging kaakibat o partner ng isang LGU, yung DILG, pag doon sa usapin ng mismong planning. So in fact, sa paggawa nung mga plano, yung disaster risk plans ay talagang hanggang barangay level yung mandato na yan.
Hindi po.
Well, kasama po yung LGU. Ang sabi ko, partner, DILG at yung LGU. Pero isa sa primary na trabaho ng LGU ay paghandaan yan. Well, anyway, ayon po doon sa mga yung nabanggit niyong pag-aaral, yung sunset, sunset review nung
2015
nung code ay isa sa mga na-assess ay una, weak coordination and collaboration among stakeholders. Ayon din sa DILG noong 2013 Preparedness Assessment Report, sinasabing there is much to be desired in terms of coordination between national government agencies, LGUs, civil society organizations, volunteers, and the private sector. Okay? The present structure where authority is shared, it renders it difficult to operate on an effective emergency management activities. Okay? So, ibig lang hong sabihin, hindi lang ito problema ng isang ahensya, gaya ng DILG. Dahil nga ito ay ang dami hong stakeholders. Ngayon, dito sa inyong panukala, ang sinasabi nyo, pag nagkaroon ng kapalpakan, nagkaroon ng problema,
siya na lang sisisihin.
Isa lang ang sisisihin.
Tama po.
Okay. So, dahil siya lang ang sisisihin, ang ibig lang sabihin, itong si Department of Disaster Resilience, ay bibigyan natin ngayon ng isang parang superpower. Kasi kung hindi nga kaya ng ibang ahensya, ngayon biglang meron kang italaga na bagong departamento with the presumption that this department ay kaya niya yung hindi makakaya nung 20 o 24 ahensya na dapat ay nakatutok sa disaster preparedness. So ganun ho ba ang premise natin dito? Nakakayanin ng isang Department of Disaster Resilience yung dapat na trabaho sana nung 24 na ahensya na dapat involved dito sa ating existing na framework.
Yung word na coordination po mismo, kayo na po mismo na bring up. Ang hirap po talaga i-coordinate. In fact, if you test the logic of any proposition is in its extreme, parang halos sabi ko, except on cases where you need to call out other forces of the state, I think coordination should be internal. Sa loob na mismo po ng departamento, napakahirap po kung yung 24, unang-una kung minsan mahirap po mag-meet mismo yung 24. So, yung mga various elements po ng mga kakailanganin ay dapat isagawa ng isang departamento para hindi na po kailangan mismo yung sinasabi nating weak coordination. In fact, it's better if we internalize, or in short, Your Honor, ang kalaban po dito ng coordination is integration. And this integration is essentially internal para po mas magawa po ng isang ahensya ng gobyerno na properly empowered and properly funded. Ang sinasabi ko, Your Honor, yung isang bagay na sinasabi natin na super agency, hindi naman po. Dahil yung OCD ngayon po, ay hindi po isang maliit na ahensya lang, halos 600 lang po ang tao, pero yung pong inatasan ng The Republic Act 10121 na magsagawa ng mga koordinasyon na kakailanganin dahil po sila ang secretariat ng NDRRMC o isang konseho. So, Your Honor, nililift lang natin yung OCD sa karapat-dapat niya pong level. Kung saan po, halimbawa, Your Honor, pag ang isang proposal sa loob ng kabinete, dahil po ang isang sekretaryo umuupo po sa kabinete, pag may isang ipinas po na proposal, masasabi kagad ng sekretary ng disaster resilient, tataas ang risk niyan kung isagawa natin yung panukalang yan ng DPWH. Yung DOTR na yan. Sa ngayon po, wala akong gagawa nun. Kanya-kanya pong analysis. Pero kung meron mo tayong secretary na may cabinet portfolio, lahat po ng mga proposal na dumadaan sa kabinete ay magkakaroon na po ng masasabi nating mas receptive na po sila sa idea po na dapat from plan up to implementation, kasama po ang pag-consider po ng risk reduction o para po mas maiwasan mo natin ang lalong-lalo na ang mga human-induced disaster po, Your Honor.
Well, again, nire-raise ko po itong, di ba, yung comparison between the present and now.
Opo.
Dahil unang-una nga, ang usapin dito ay preparedness, no?
Tama po.
Capacity din ng ating mga LGUs, no?
Opo.
At ayon din dun sa sinasabi nating sunset review, no? Ay in 2013 only 23%, no, of LGUs located in low-lying flood-prone areas, no, ay may preparedness, no, ay may capacity, no, para sa pagsagawa, no, ng mga sabihin na nating measures, either mitigating measures, kaya measures na paghahanda, no. At kadalasan, ang sinasabi ngayon ng mga LGUs ay una, kakulangan ng pera, no. Sinasabi nilang sa dami-dami nilang mandato, no, at yung sinasabing 5%, no, na calamity fund, no, of which 70% should be used for preparedness, ay talagang kulang, no. So, ngayon, magtatalaga tayo ngayon ng isang Department of Disaster Resilience. Sa makatuwid, itong kakulangan ng mga LGUs ay pupunuan ba ng disaster department, no? Department of Disaster hinggil sa usapin ng pondo?
Unang-una po, Your Honor, kung halimbawa wala tayong gagalawin except yung creation, Your Honor, ng Department of Disaster Resilience, mas madali po ang call out. Ibig sabihin, tawagin. So lahat po ng kailangan nila mula preparedness, capacity building, response, relief, pati na po sa rehabilitation, isa na lang po ang kausap nila. Pangalawa po yun, na kapalo po dito sa batas, ang pagpataas po ng porsyento ng buong IRA ng isang LGU mula 5% papunta po ng 7% kung saan po 80% ang ilalagay po sa preparedness at 20% po sa quick response fund. At pangatlo po, Your Honor, yung meron po ditong pondo for 3rd to 6th class provinces and municipality, there shall be in the GAA an amount allotted solely for the use of 3rd to 6th class provinces for the purpose of augmenting their LDRF with respect to plans, programs, projects, and procurement for climate change adaptation, disaster risk prevention, mitigation, and reduction. So, the requirements to avail of these funds shall be laid down in the rules and regulations to be promulgated by the Secretary, Your Honor. So, it is a two-pronged approach, Your Honor.
So, ibig sabihin, merong i-allocate mula sa ating GAA
Opo,
dun sa mga munisipyo,
3rd to 6th.
3rd to 6th. Okay? At yan po ay parang ino-augment mo yung kanilang calamity fund.
Tinasan din po natin yung kanilang, we are empowering them, essentially po, Your Honor, na by increasing the amount of their total IRA that can be used for their calamity fund from 5% to 7%, at dun sa 7% po, 80% po will be put in the disaster preparedness or disaster risk reduction at 20% po para sa quick response fund. At ang isa pa po dito, ay sila po ay for 5 years, wini-waive po yung LGC code na kaya nga po sinabi nyo kanina na 23% ang pinaka-cost po niyan dahil wala po silang permanente na disaster LDRM, local disaster risk reduction officer. Dahil po nga, lampas na kalamitan ng ating po, sa dami po ng mga binigay nating mandato sa LGU na kumbaga ino-offload ng national government, kinukulang na po yung pera nila para po mapunuan. So, sobrang-sobra na po ang kanila. So, para sa 5 katao, for how many years? 5 years po, naka-waive po yung PS ceiling po para sa mga local government units.
So, sa makatuwid, dito sa kanilang IRA, tataasan from 5% na calamity fund, gagawing 7%.
Tama po.
At dun sa 3rd to 6th class municipalities ay may direct subsidy na ibibigay yung Department of Disaster Resilience.
Tama po. Ilalagay po sa kanilang pondo.
So, ibig sabihin, itong pondo na yan, no? So kahit na wala pa yung bagyo or wala pa yung disaster, from 70% gagawing 80%.
Tama po.
Yung paggagamitan doon sa disaster
para
preparedness.
Sa drainage, para sa ang tawag dyan, slope protection, yung lahat po ng bagay na pwede po magpabawas ng pagbaha and therefore pagbawas po ng...
So in specific na economic terms, ilang pesos per sinasabi nating constituent or tao ang ating ina-allocate, target allocation for disaster preparedness ayon sa inyong panukala?
Sa current era po, Your Honor, ang nakalagay po ay 5% po nung 650 billion. So roughly po, nasa 35 billion po, nasa mga 40 billion po. 42? Mga 42 billion po ang nasa calamity fund. Plus sa national government po, may 20 billion. So kabuuan po, ang ating pong Estado, the government as a whole, has 62 billion against calamities, Your Honor.
So 42 billion out of the 520 billion na IRA, no?
Opo.
So parang ganon yung...
650.
O 620 if based doon sa bago.
2019 po, Your Honor.
So, ang sinasabi natin, with that new frame in terms of disaster preparedness, ay kayang matugunan anuman yung pwedeng...
hindi po.
Hindi pa rin.
Hindi kaya po. Kasi usually po kaya mayaman na isang lugar dahil po kulang sa risk. Kung sino mahirap, mas marami ang risk. Kaya kailangan po talaga ng spatial transfer. Ibig sabihin, yung mga from the central, kailangan po ng transfer po ng resources para po ma-reduce po, para po ma-close po yung gap between the resources and the risk, Your Honor.
So, ang sinasabi nyo, dahil kulang ito, ay mas makakabuti kung decentralized yung sinasabi nating maging...
Actually, yung DRR po is one of the biggest argument for federalism. Kung titingnan nyo po. Except that, Your Honor, kakailanganin po talaga, kasi masalam nila kung sino po ang namamatay, masalam po nila kung sino nasa peligro, ando na sila para po, kaso, yung pwedeng gumawa nun ay biktima din. Tulad po sa Yolanda. Sa Mr. Your Honor, alimbawa dito, mas mamamana isa pong benepisyo ng batas na ito, yung ating pong Department of Disaster Resilience, nakamandato po sa kanila na magtalaga po o mag-build ng mga warehouses o logistical center sa labas po ng mga pwede pong tinatamaan para po, kasi kung minsan po, halimbawa, yung mga kalsada, yung mga iba't iba pong means of transportation ay hindi po, ay sarado po. Sa matuwid po, you can only assist from the outside, Your Honor. So, ito po yung isang bagay na makakatulong po sa atin.
So, ibig sabihin, itong bagong departamento, malaki din ang kailangan nitong allocation for capital outlay.
Opo.
Gaya ng mga barko, kung saan iimbakin yung mga emergency relief goods.
Tama po.
Kailangan mo rin ng mga heavy equipment para
Tama
sa immediate na pagtugon o pag-deploy.
Kahit naman po yung pag nangyayari po namin sa Albay, yung tatawag ka sa DPWH, inaasa rin naman po sa mga kontraktor, pinapakiusap. Dahil simula po nung itinalaga po ng World Bank na contracting agency lang ng contract planning and contracting and monitoring agency lang ng DPWH, yung kanilang mga pansariling may equipment ay halos nangawala na po. Kasi halos wala naman po talagang equipment ang ating pong DPWH. Kaya kailangan po talaga ng isang, ito po yung DDR, mandato po nila na magkaroon po ng kumpletong weaponry against disaster.
So again, as I've said, the logistics and the capital outlay needed for this department in the coming years would really add up to our budget.
Tama po. Sa ngayon po yung kanilang gastos ay mga nasa 1.4 billion. Sa tingin ko, Your Honor, for fully functioning DDR, you need about, at least in the first year, 10 billion.
10 billion?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, on the aspect of prevention and mitigation, because again, doing disaster preparedness and even response in anticipation of avoiding the hazards or mitigating the effects of like typhoons and even man-made calamities, it's very clear in the existing law that this is science-based. Science-based. Siyensya.
Ay, opo. Ay, nakamandato po dito na
Kaya po ang mandato ay nasa DOST.
Tama po.
At alam natin na sa DOST ay may very peculiar na ahensya like yung Pag-asa, yung PBOLCS, na sila ang tanging mga ahensya na may kasanayan, highly skilled na mga personnel. So dito sa ating Department of Disaster, ano hong mangyari dito sa ating...
Kinukuha po ng DDR para hindi number one, hindi kailangan pong umulit. Pangalawa po, Your Honor, based sa other countries po, ang Pag-asa po na ipinanganak po sa Armed Forces of the Philippines na nailipat lang po talaga nung EO 262 ni Presidente Cory, naipat talaga po sa ilalim ng DOST. Doon po sa States ngayon po, ang Pag-asa po doon na National Weather Service ay nasa ilalim po ng Department of Trade and Industry. Dahil nga po, yun ang nangangailangan po sa kanila. Yun po ang nangangailangan. Yung buong NOAA na tinatawag, nasa ilalim po ng Department of Trade and Industry. Yung PBOX naman po ay nasa ilalim po ng Department of Interior, doon po sa United States. Ang sinasabi ko lang po, Your Honor, ito dahil in anticipation of the question, that the organization, the OD evolution or the organizational development evolution in in the aspect of disaster risk reduction and climate change has been moving towards, if you put very critical agencies or instruments closer to the user rather than from their context. So, unang-una po, pag tinignan mo, ako po, napag-aralan ko na rin po yung DOST, ano ba talaga yung nag-string that essentially attaches these two? Ang pinaka-attachment po talaga is through their GIA, Grants in Aid. Na kung saan po, halimbawa, taga-pag-asa ka, pwede ka humingi para po sa iyo yung pag-aaral ng Grants in Aid. The heart and soul of the attachment, except perhaps because they are science-based institution, but in practical terms, Your Honor, the reliance or dependence of Pag-asa and PBOX sa DOST essentially through their funding of their research, which can also be done by the Department of Disaster Resilience.
Well, I think the issue here is, again, because as we all know that science-based and scientific rigor that's needed for predicting typhoons and other natural calamities, should be devoid of politics, because again, the problem here is if it would be put in a department in which the head of that department has practically no science or has no technical and scientific knowledge about such weather disturbances, and he or she, that head, can veto any scientific determination. And I think that has always happened, especially right now when there's an incoming typhoon, there's habagat, so nag-aaway palagi sino ba ang magdi-declare na walang pasok. So sa ngayon, kung ipapasok natin ito sa DDR, so ang hahanapin ng mga estudyante
siya
para magdeklara si DDR.
Tama po.
Tama po yan.
Tama po yan. Pero siya din po ang pwede mag-set ng guidelines para po sa mga local government units at saka DepEd.
So hindi na si Mayor?
Ay, hindi naman po. Kasi nga, ang siset lang po ng guidelines. Pero, halimbawa, pag sinabi ni DDR, uy, tatama to sa iyo, 240 mm ang rainfall, tapos 140 ang kpH po ang lakas, pwede, ako po, nauutusan po ako ng OCD nung panahon po ako yung governor. Talaga alos sinasasabihin, oy, magpalabas ka na ng advisory. Kasi naniniwala ba ako, sir, sa regularity po ng ating pong mga technocrats at saka mga bureaucrats. Kasing tiwala din po ako sa mga ating mga scientists na pag-aral po sa UP, sa ibang bansa, na sila po hindi basta-basta po madadala ng sinasabi mo kanina na pwedeng panghimasok po ng politika. Ang mas hindi po, ang mas kailangan pong iwasan ay yung oras po o tinatawag namin po sa disaster response na golden hour. Ito po yung panahon kung saan pag nagkaroon po ng government intervention, you can still save more lives, you can still save more properties from getting damaged if you do it immediately. So, Mr. Honor, if you do the integration or what you can call internal coordination inside the department, then you increase the prospects for the golden hour. Kaya po nilalagay closer to the user, and the principal user now of Pag-asa will be the DDR, Your Honor, as well as the public.
Well, in the present setup, you already have these guidelines, when there's this yellow alert, orange, or red alert, but it's discretionary upon the LGUs.
Hindi.
So now, when there's an alert, like an orange alert, okay, then it would be incumbent upon the DDR na siya po yung dapat magpatupad, At ano yung kanyang powers, para panghimasukan halimbawa yung mga LGU. Kasi ang unang problema diyan, halimbawa, di ba? Ang dami nating informal settlers, again, problema, di ba? At yan po yung una talagang tinatamaan pag may pag may bagyo, no? So, yung DDR, dahil nga tinanggal na natin si DILG, siya ang manghihimasok sa mga LGUs para sabihin na ilikas na itong
Tama
mga
Yung word
mga
naman po sinasabi,
community sa low-lying areas. Advice lang.
Advice to evacuate.
So pag hindi inilikas ng mga LGUs,
Judgment call nila na walang mamamatay. Ma-achieve yung zero casualty.
so precisely, it's still the same
Hindi po.
framework. No? Dahil ngayon, ang DILG, ang NDRRMC, ay nagbibigay ng advice.
Kasi
Pero
nga po,
again, it's up to the LGU dun sa kanilang operation, yung upland likas, no? Dito
ganito
sa
po
mga
yung-
communities na most likely ay talagang tatamaan. So, kung ganun din yung framework, walang capacity, walang power yung DDR na pwersahin na ilikas
meron po.
itong communities.
Meron po. Unang-una po, Your Honor, hindi po namin nire-repeal yung Republic Act 10121. The primacy for response remains with local government units. It's only because of the empirical evidence that in so many high-profile catastrophes in this country, the national effort was not organized simply because of the lack of a national framework or one single agency, and therefore have to rely on too many coordination as shown, Your Honor, by the Sunset Review. So, Your Honor, hindi ho namin tinatanggal sa LGU dahil siguro masusunod ka sa kapatid mo kaysa sa hindi mo kakilala. Sa matid, Your Honor, nandun po yun. Subalit, Your Honor, yung pagbibigay po ng kapasidad kung wala pa po yung disaster. Pangalawa pa, pag nandyan na po yung disaster, yung kakayahan po, Your Honor, to distill yung information or to interpret the information coming, let's say, from Pag-asa or FIBOS and the complex interaction, let's say, Your Honor, between the geological features, therefore resulting in landslide like coming from NGB, or let's say, Your Honor, from the hydrometeorological coming from Pag-asa, will now be put, Your Honor, into one more cohesive advisory that will essentially be done by the Department of Disaster Resilience. So, Your Honor, mayroong kakayahan po sila. Subalit po, hindi po natin nire-repeal, hindi po natin tinatanggal dahil mas marami pa nga pang pera para sa disaster ang LGU. Kaso kinukulang. And some areas are riskier than others. And usually, the riskier others have less money and usually they are poorer simply because they have more risk. Doon po papasok. In fact, it is a national instrument for transfers of resources po para mapunuan po yung gap between the risk and the resources in certain areas. So, in answer to Your Honor, meron silang kakayahan, pero nagsisimula lahat po yan sa isang nagsisimula po yan lahat sa isang warning, manggagaling po sa Pag-asa. Alam po, Your Honor, kung nasa DOST ka, may malaki, sasabihin mo muna sa DOST Secretary bago mo ibigay kay DDR. Kasi paggagalitan ka nun, dahil yun ang supervisor mo eh. Ngayon po, pag may nakita ka malaki, bibigay mo kaagad sa boss mo, boss, may malaki, dapat gumawa na tayo ng contingency plan o sa amin po, sa Albay, a series of advisory for Your Honor. Pag lumapit pa yan, lumakas pa yan, ito yung advice. Pag yan, halimbawa ngayon po, siguro, Your Honor, kasi harvesting time na po sa Cagayan Valley. Siguro, sa ngayon po, bukas, ang pinaka-advisory ko po, kung yun po sa ilalim ko, early harvesting of crops. So yun po, kailangan po natin dyan ang science, at the same time po, yung relationship po ng science to action or to praxis, Your Honor. Nakita ko kasi kaya nagamit ko yung pangalan praxis.
Well, yung mga nabanggit po ninyo, Your Honor, about this preparedness, mga advisory, sa ngayon ginagawa naman yan. No?
Opo.
Okay. At in fact, yung mga advisories, even the science-based, no, ay talagang immediately yung Pag-asa, meron na kagad warning, and in fact, because of advances in science, in weather monitoring, ay And of course, because of social media ay napaparating na kaagad sa taong bayan, no? Yung anumang potential, no, na maging impact ng isang bagyo, no? But again, in the Sunset Review, ang sinasabi dito, isang major na naging weakness ay yung implementation of laws and policies, no? And I quote, the lack of governance and weak enforcement, no, of disaster management related laws, like with regards to establishments in, basically yung sinasabi niyong land use planning na problema, no? At yung usapin din ng compliance of the building code requirements, yung ating ECC requirements, even the requirements for the 40-meter easement, no, in coastal areas, which I think during the Yolanda, yun po yung talagang badly hit, no, yung mga nasa coastal areas. But again, because it's within the purview of the LGUs to do that, ano yung ating mga guarantees, no, that itong mga enforcement, no, of national laws, no, kasi doon magsisimula eh. Sasabihin ba ng DDR, okay, itong mga LGUs na hindi compliant of DRRM-related laws, ano yung parusa? Ano yung kanilang sanctions? No? So again, it's really a collaboration of the different agencies and the LGUs na nasa sa lead enforcement. Will the DDR, no, provide the necessary, no? Parang, siyempre, again, it should be a carrot and stick, no? Like the DILG in the enforcement of its preparedness plan, sinama nila yan sa mga indicators for the Performance Challenge Fund for LGUs to receive this bonus or incentive, no? So ibig sabihin, yung DILG, part nung kanya hindi lang to provide sanction but to provide incentives for the LGUs to comply, ay sinasama yan sa indicators of SGLG, no? So now for the PDR, ano yung kanyang approaches with regards to this sinasabing non-compliance or lack of implementation of laws and policies with regards to DRRM?
Unang-una, Your Honor, really, the answer is capacity building, both for planning as well as provision of resources or resource mobilizing. Pagdating po doon sa mga award, meron din naman po mga award, nangi-receipt din po tayo sunod-sunod ng Gawad Kalasag. Pero subalit, Your Honor, yung pagbibigay po ng award ng DILG, nakabase po sa napakarami pong compliance, sa napakarami pong batas. Sa mga tuwid, isa sa mga batas na pwede nilang ipagkait ang isang SDLG ay kung hindi nila ipatupad itong bagong batas sa DDR, Your Honor. At pangatlo, Your Honor, ang kasagutan dyan ay mas mahigpit po ngayon yung ating pong mga prohibited acts and yung mga penalties. Doon po, mas specific at mas klaro at mas matindi po, Your Honor.
Hinggil din sa usapin, no, kasi ang nabanggit natin dito, una, problema sa compliance ng mga environmental laws, no? Isa na diyan yung solid waste management, no? Yung usapin ng pagtapon ng mga basura, no? Yung usapin, no, ng basically may mga batas na, no? May mga batas na tayo. So ang problema rito is really the enforcement. So ngayon ang sinasabi niyo, Your Honor, is ito'y under sa panukala, no, ay kukunin na ng DDR, hindi kukunin.
Hindi, kasi
advisory lang ang gagawin uli nila.
Hindi po, kasi tutulong siguro sa DNR kung halimbawa, kasi mas palagian na po yung interaction ng departamento to sa mga local government units, patungkol po lang po tungkol sa mga peligro o disaster risk. Yun naman po lang, ang buod po ng departamento to ay sa disaster risk na sa ating pong konteksto, Pilipinas bilang kuminsan number 1, kuminsan number 3, third highest the most vulnerable po to disaster, not just climate change, but especially to the complex interaction between climate change and our geological features, Your Honor. So, hindi po namin kukunin. Mas positibo po ang direksyon po nito. Kitang-kita ko po, alam niyo po, sir, kung di naman sa sa Albay, 1994 pa po kami merong Permanent Disaster Management Office. The first management office by any LGU in the entire Asia. Submitted, Your Honor. Kailangan lang siguro na mabigyan ng kapasidad ang lahat po ng local government units upang po masagawa kung ano nakabubuti para sa kanilang komunidad at nakakabuti para sa inyo pong ekonomiya. Sa matuwid po, ang focus po, nakapokus lang po ang DDR sa sentrong elemento na yun po ang disaster risk. Unang-una, na mapababa. Pangalawa, na may iwasan. Pangatlo, na harapin. Pang-apat, ay may balik at may sulong po ang dangal o ang dignidad po ng mga pamilya at ng komunidad.
Well, congratulations about the Albay experience. Alam ko po na napakandaming literatura, no, hinggil sa disaster preparedness response, no, na nababanggit po yung Albay, no, and I would congratulate the good sponsor for
Salamat
that,
po.
no, and putting it into this proposed measure. Now let me go to another issue with regards to, again, this was taken or culled out from the Sunset Review, yung monitoring of disaster fund expenditures. No? Of course, as you mentioned, palaki ng palaki yung ating ina-allocate, no, sa disaster calamity fund. No? But again, in a study, yung sinasabi ho nating QRF, no, I think this is the Quick Response Fund.
Tama po.
Okay. There is no available data that we could assess, no, the degree of disaster response adequacy. So I think it came out again in that review, no, and as what you mentioned, dahil mag-i-increase pa, no, yung allocation, no, for disaster, for the calamity fund, would the DDR, no, be also in charge of doing the performance audit, okay, the adequacy by which these funds have been used, no? And again, in so doing, so yan po ba ay within the authority ng DDR?
Binibigay po ng Kongreso. Unang-una na kailangan po magkaroon ng isang monthly status ng utilization po ng pondo. Pangalawa po, Your Honor, nandito po yan sa Section 21, Your Honor, at yung pag-monitor po. At alam niyo po, Your Honor, sa isang local government chief executive, the calamity fund is the most sacred fund because it saves lives. Sa matid, Your Honor, kung minsan ang isang ang ilang electorate ay pwede or dahil sa kung ano pa man bagay, kailangan po talaga ang mas bago po makarating sa COA, kailangan na po may isang ahensya ang gobyerno para po unang-una na ito'y ginagamit sa tama, pangalawa na ito'y sapat. So ito po yung isa sa mga trabahong binibigay po natin sa isa sa mga sections po dito sa basically po sa section sa page 31 po nung bill na nandyan po sa ating lahat at din doon pa po sa section sa page 53 kung saan po nakalagay na kung saan po na dapat may monthly utilization report po yung calamity fund. At pangapat po pala, na itong calamity fund ay kailangan din i-appropriate at the start of the year, before the start of the year, by all local government units. So, apat na bagay po.
Well, I laud you for that, good sponsor, for putting that into the measure. But again, this is a very big task, no? Because we have how many LGUs? 1,600 municipalities, you have 180 cities, and 81 provinces, excluding the barangays, no? And having that function, no, to really monitor, especially the QRF, no, what are the funded activities, services, projects, accomplishments, and especially the timing of the fund use, no? Kasi first quarter pa lang, minsan inuubos na nila yung 70%, no? At kadalasan, alam mo na kung saan nagagamit din sa politika, no? Kasi ang sikreto sa LGU, kung gusto mong manalo sa isang eleksyon, magaling kang gumamit sa iyong calamity fund. I hope it does not speak about Albay, no? But again, yan po yung mga haka-haka, no? May mga ganong kuro-kuro. Ang usapin, no, nung timing of the use of the calamity funds, no? Because as we all know, use ng calamity fund, kumbaga sa LCA, Chief Executive, ay nandun sa kanya, no, yung ganong power, no? But again, the process, the way forward is really to identify the systemic use of such fund at kumbaga talagang nagagamit yan sa tamang panahon para sa tamang mga supposedly beneficiaries for that fund, no? And of course, again, part of the review, ang usapin din ng slow disbursement of funds, no, from the national government, no? Okay, so ngayon with the DDR, of course, iisa na lang ang sisisihin natin, no? Na kahit na yung pondo ay nakalagak sa isang ahensya like DPWH, no, pag hindi magaling yung DDR mo, no, siyempre hindi niya mapukpok si DPWH. Or ang isang option, lahat ng infra funds for recovery, rehabilitation ay hawakan ni DDR, no? So may mga ganong options.
Yun po yun.
On that.
Yung
so,
huling nasabi mo.
Kung hahawakan niya ni DDR, again, also the question is, will it solve, no, itong slow disbursement? Kasi ang daming kuhan dyan, no? Usapin nung sa implementation, usapin ng mga road right of way, usapin po ng absorptive capacity ng areas na tinatamaan ng disaster, no? Kasi kung like the experience of Yolanda, practically yung mga LGUs mo doon, wala nang capacity. So, yung ini-expect mong within 3 months maka-recover, hindi talaga mangyari. Because Yolanda, kumbaga, made the new norm, no, of what we should expect of a disaster. And given that new norm, again, we want to have a DDR, no, that would address that. So the challenge is, again, fund disbursement, no, which is very critical in areas affected by these natural disasters. So again, with this proposed measure, will this low disbursement of funds be addressed, no? At there will be no more excuses from the national government na hindi kaagad na download o hindi kaagad na implement yung funds.
Meron po. Kasi nga po, imbis na yung isang pondo na nasa QRF, halimbawa, ay nasa DPWH, pabalik-balik po yung unang-una, dadali ng LGU sa kanila, tapos ibabalidate nila, ibibigay na naman sa Bureau of Maintenance ng DPWH, ibabalidate din ng kanilang DE. Sa ngayon po, lampas na po yung period ng state of calamity kung saan merong flexibility para may sagawa yung mga proyekto. Kaya po, mas mapapabilis kung iisa lang po sila. Sila ang magbabalidate, sila po bahala ng COA sa kanila at bahala na po ang taong bayan kung sila po ay nagbabantay sa gobyerno dahil at the end of the day, talaga naman trabaho po ng taong bayan. Nabantayan po lahat ng ahensya ng gobyerno. kay DDR yan o DPWH yan, kailangan po talagang bantayan. Pero sa pananaw ko po, Your Honor, mas mapapabilis dahil hindi na po marami pang pong mga coordinative meetings, small group, big group, kung minsan may summit pa, kung saan pong kailangan pag-usapan para iwas kung sino pong pwede masisi. Ngayon po, isa lang sisisihin, yung DDR lang po.
Well,
May we remind the good gentleman that you have already consumed
just
1 hour.
I'll just wrap up, Mr. Speaker. No? Again, I laud no, the objectives of this law. Ang haka-haka ko lang, no, dahil nga, my reservations, of course, when you create a new agency, ang lag no, between it fully operational and really hitting the ground ay mataas. No? And of course, again, the issue, Mr. Speaker, good sponsor, the issue again of budget. No? And of course, having this new bureaucracy that would be created no, out of this department. No? And of which, of course, right now of our present GAA, kung titingnan natin yung GAA, practically 60% ng ating GAA ay personnel services. So, madadagdagan na naman. No? And we have these incremental increases. No? That would leave CO and MOEE na talagang paliit ng paliit. So, yun yung aking mga concerns. And of course, if these concerns, no, as you've said, can be addressed with this new this new law na wala nang sisisihin, or we will expect no, na handang-handa tayo, mas handang-handa pa sa Boy Scout, no, yung ating bagong Department of Disaster Resiliency. Well, I will give you that benefit of the doubt.
Salamat
But
po.
again, as I've said, there are still reservations, and hopefully, perhaps in the period of amendments, we could have some proposed measures.
Salamat po.
Thank you for the time, Mr. Speaker, and good sponsor.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker. Okay. Mr. Speaker, walang. Meron po. Ay, meron. Mr. Speaker, may we recognize the next interpellator, Congressman Caloy Zarate of Bayan Muna Party List.
The Honorable Zarate is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Pwede ho bang mapaunlakan tayo ng ilang katanungan para malinawan ang ating tinatalakay na batas mula ho sa ating kagalang-galang na sponsor?
Opo.
Maraming salamat po. Your Honor, ang ilang mga katanungan ko ay nabanggit na rin kanina ng ating kasamahan. Mga ilang punto na lamang. No? Tama po ba ang aking assumption na dito sa ating pinapanukalang batas, tayo ay gagawa ng isang, masabi nating parang isang mega department or super agency
Hindi naman
that
po.
will manage sa usapin po ng ating mga disaster?
Unang-una, hindi po appropriate po sa tindi po ng climate change at ang complex interaction nito sa ating pong geological features. Sa matid, Your Honor, inaangat lang po yung level po ng ating pong government para po sapat, para po tugunan yung peligro.
Salamat po, Your Honor. In the recent past, ang siguro ang pinakamatinding naranasan nating disaster, no? Hagupit ng kalikasan ay ang nangyari sa Kabisayaan nung panahon ng Yolanda. Kung maalala na. Pero tumama rin ito sa ilang bahagi ng Luzon at Mindanao. At nung panahon na yon, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, Di po ba meron na rin tayong isang ahensya, no, na siyang itinalagaan natin sa kaukulang batas, no, na isang batas na siya yung mamamahala, no, para matugunan ang mga sakunang ganito. Tama po ba, Your
Wala
Honor?
po.
Ano po ang naging papel na nung...
Ang NDRMC po ay isang konseho.
Isa po siyang konseho, pero meron po siyang...
May mga inuutusan po siya na mga departamento. So,
tama po, andyan po yung Office of Civil Defense. Tama po ba?
yan po ang nagko-coordinate bilang isang secretariat, Your Honor. Pero yung pondo po ay yung pondo po ng DP, yung pondo po ng DSWD, yung pondo po ng various agency po.
So, kung pag-uusapan yung pondo, nakakalat sa iba't
Pati
ibang
tao.
ahensya. At wala ito sa control ng Office of the Civil Defense. Tama po ba yun?
Hindi po.
At wala rin...
Nandadaan po dahil po ito isang konseho na ang chairman po ay ang Secretary of National Defense. So kung ano man po na mga napagkasunduan doon, oy, ikaw na bahala dito, mag-provide ka ng 20 mil na sakong bigas, ikaw, padala ka na ng ganon. Sa Mati Your Honor, yung civil defense po ay secretariat lang po at taga-alalay po.
Salamat po. Gusto ko lang sundan uli yung nabanggit kanina ng ating kasamahan. Ano? Sa kasalukuyang sistema po ba natin ay walang akmang ahensya na pwedeng doon natin ilagay, no, ang usapin ng paano tutugon at paano pangalagaan ang ating mga komunidad panahon ho pagtatamaan tayo ng ahensya. No, nabanggit kanina, ang isa sa pinakamalapad na ahensyang ito o departamento ay andyan naman, no, yung DILG. Pwede po bang malinaw, makuha natin ang punto ng kagalang-galang na sponsor, Mr. Speaker? Bakit kailangan pa tayong magbuo ng bagong departamento na dagdag burokrasya na naman ito? Mr. Speaker.
Unang-una po, it saves lives. Kung nagtutugunan po talaga nila yan, bakit marami pa rin namamatay, marami pa rin nasisira? Sa mga tweet po yun, wala nakakonsentrate talaga sa mga disaster dahil po, kinalat po yung lahat na function, yung 4 na areas po ng disaster action across so many actors in government. Pangalawa po, Your Honor, yung mismo DILG rin, siguro mga 4,000 batas, pang-batas ba tayo, 10,000 laws. They're essentially now almost implementing, binabantayan po ang LGUs sa pag-implement po ng 11,000 laws of the land, Your Honor. So, ang disaster risk ay isa lang sa marami po na under Republic Act 10121 kung saan inassign sa kanila yung isa sa mga aspeto na ang tawag po ay disaster preparedness.
Salamat po, Ginoong Sponsor. Pero hindi po ba nitong mga nakaraan, tayo nga ay gumugol ng mga pondo, no? Napakalaking pondo para, kung magamit ko yung inyong tinurang kanina, to capacitate the local governments, no? Sa usapin po ng disaster. Kaya po, hindi ho ba pwedeng itong ating panukala ngayon ay sa halip na gumawa pa ng isang bagong departamento uli, ay ilagay na natin doon sa existing department na siya ring unang may poder, no? Halimbawa sa usapin po ng mga local government units.
Hindi nga po kasi yung disaster reduction nasa DOST, disaster preparedness nasa DILG, disaster response nasa DSWD, yung disaster rehabilitation nasa NEDA. So hindi ho pwede, hindi ho kakayanin po. Kaya magkakaroon po tayo unang-una, it's either makukompromiso ang buhay ng tao o yung kanilang quality of life o makukompromiso mo po yung ekonomiya ng isang komunidad, Your Honor, kung hindi natin ibibigay natin sa isa sa kanila. Dahil po sa batas ngayon, kinalat po ang mga funksyon na patungkol po sa disaster action.
Salamat po, Your Honor. Matanong ko lang ho ito dahil ang bukang bibig po sa kasalukuyang administrasyon, no? Na bigyan ng mas malaking poder ang local government units, no? Kaya nga sinusulong nila halimbawa yung usapin ng federalismo, ano? Pero ito ho ngayon, para hong nakikita natin, sinecentralize uli, no? Ang isang napakalagang function at usapin ng governance. No? Hindi ho kaya ito ay pag-atras natin doon sa
Hindi po.
usapin ng decentralization.
Ini-integrate lang po yung national effort po, Your Honor. Ni isa pong funksyon ng local government ay wala akong ibinabalik sa national itong proposed law na to. Nilalagyan lang po ng tagabantay upang pong masunod. May isang tagabantay po ng pagsunod sa Republic Act 10121 at so, Your Honor, wala ho kaming binabawi at in fact, mayroon kami dinadagdag through capacity building po ng mga local government units para gawin nila yung kanilang kung anong klaseng yung aspirasyon nila, yung goals nila bilang isang komunidad na yun po ay ma-articulate ng kanilang comprehensive land use plan. Pero lalagyan po natin ng siyensya at lalagyan po natin ng climate proofing at disaster proofing po yung kanilang plano.
Salamat po, Your Honor. Tama rin po ba na dito sa ating panukalang batas, may ilang ahensya, no, na halimbawa ang ahensya ng Pag-asa, ang PHIVOLCS, ang Mines and Geosciences Bureau ng DENR, and even the Bureau of Fire Protection
Tama
ay correct me if I'm wrong, dito na ho ba sila mapapailalim sa ahensyang ito?
Opo.
So lahat ito, even the Bureau of Fire Protection, halimbawa ay aalisin na sa DILG at ilalagay sa DDR.
Magkukumpas na po. Kasi sa buong mundo po, hindi naman sinasabi ko standard na norm na po na nagtumutugon po sa halos lahat ng disaster kay yung forest fire.
Yes.
O yung pagbaha ay isang Bureau of Fire po and Protection. So,
yes, in fact ho, sa napakaraming bahagi ng mundo, ang usapin talaga ng disaster ay nasa kanilang interior ministry.
Tama po.
At kaya nga ho, tinatanong ko yun kanina, we already have our own Department of Interior, pero eto, gumagawa ulit tayo ng isa pang departamento, isang burokrasya. No? Nasa halip, kung ano man ang naisip nating gusto nating mandato, no? Na para ibigay natin dito sa DDR na ito, ay pwede namang idagdag sa mandato ng ating Interior Department kung gugustuhin po natin. Dahil nga, siya na ang merong kapasidad, no? Sa kasalukuyan at siya na rin yung sa buong bansa ay siya na rin yung may mga ahensya na pwedeng gumanap ng function ng we envision dito ho sa DDR na
because,
ito.
Your Honor, it is a high national imperative. It is an existential threat to the Philippines as we know it, Your Honor. It's like, why do you need a Department of Agriculture where you can integrate it, let's say, with other departments, Your Honor? This, Your Honor, has a very specific and huge because, Your Honor, kung hindi natin ito gagawin, baka mas marami pong mamamatay at wala akong presyo yun at mas marami po ang masisira sa ating ekonomiya, lalong-lalo na po masisira sa mga pamilya at sa mga barangay. So, it is of the highest national imperative. Nag-intensify po ang climate change. Ang Pilipinas po ang number 3, pero dahil ang number 1 po ay Tonga, number 2 ay Vanuatu. Pag i-consider mo po ang populasyon, number 1 ho tayo. Kung i-weighted average mo po ang risk. Sa Matwid, Your Honor, it's simply because of our geostrategic location, that we are in the doormat of the typhoons. Second, that we are in the ring of fire. And 3, that we are in the seismic belt. And 4, because of our urbanization. Dahil so rapid population growth po, lalo ng ating mga syudad.
Salamat po, Your Honor. So, sinasabi po ba natin na ang sagot sa lahat ng problemang ito ay kailan gumawa ng bagong departamento o sinasabi natin na kailan tugunan natin yung problema sa pamamagitan ng pagtiyak na yung mga programa natin ay nakakatugon doon sa problema?
Nung una, Your Honor, pag hindi ko kasi natin, alam naman natin na ang climate change po ay siguro may consensus po lalo-lalo sa developing countries na kailangan po may isang talagang tumugon, lalong-lalo na sa climate change adaptation, Your Honor, na may aksyon, hindi lang po sa paggawa ng polisiya, kundi mismo pagsasagawa ng mga proyekto, programa, para po ma-address po ang epekto ng climate change. Pangalawa po, Your Honor, hindi lang po yung laki, kundi yung consequences. Ang mas importante po, kung kailangan po nating i-move yung buong bansa mula po sa pag-respond sa pag-reduce po ng mga peligro. Kasi given na po ang climate change, given na po ng Pilipinas ay nasa Western Pacific, given, halos lahat po given. It's essentially what you do about them that shapes the direction and the complexion of the national welfare, especially of the vulnerable.
Hindi ho tayo nagkakalayo dyan, no? I also agree with you on that aspect. Now, Your Honor, dahil ho may mga ahensya, no? Halimbawa, Bureau of Mines and Geosciences Bureau. Siya ay nasa Departamento ng Kalikasan, no? Or DNR.
Opo.
At dadalhin na natin siya sa DDR.
Opo.
Pag-asa, now with DOST.
Pero yung sa MGB po, yung geohazard lang.
FIBOX, no, and the others.
Yeah.
Ang tanong ko po, hindi ho ba maapektuhan ang functionality ng mga ahensya na ito na sila ay kukunin mo doon sa kanilang departamento na nandoon ang kanilang expertise at dadalhin mo sila rito at paghalo-halo dito sa isang departamento?
Sinuri ko na po yung sinasabing expertise, Your Honor. Kung ano po nagsusustain ng DOST patungkol po sa pag-asa. Yung access lang po sa grants and aid. In fact, sila po nakakapagpalaki sa budget po ng DOST. It's not DOST making pag-asa budget bigger. It is actually pag-asa budget making DOST bigger. Pagpunta naman sa FIBOX, yun, pag sinuri mo po, punta lang po tayo lahat sa website ng mga itong ahensyan to. The agency is created to mitigate disaster risk. Yan po sa FIBOX. Pumunta naman po kayo sa pag-asa. Halos word for word, yun din po nakasabi. Ibig sabihin po, ang disaster mitigation, yun po ang kanilang pinaka-contribution to nation building. Kaya po sila nag-i-exist dahil po sa disaster mitigation.
So para po, for the record, kung sinasabi ninyo na hindi maapektuhan, no, yung kanilang functionality bilang isang ahensya, especially as a scientific agency, ano ho ang katiyakan na pag ipasok sila rito sa isang ahensyang ito, ay yung efficiency nila hindi ho maapektuhan at in fact, hindi sila dagdag problema lang sa isang lumalaking burokrasya, Your Honor?
Unang-una, hindi naman po sila gagalawin. Ipapasok lang po sila sa management and supervision po ng bagong departamento. Pangalawa, Your Honor, pagbalikan niyo po, na-create po ang pag-asa dahil po sa AFP weather. Hindi po siya creation ng Department of Science and Technology. Okay. Pangalawa, Your Honor, pag tinignan mo po kung nasaan ang National Weather Service sa US, under po ng Department of Trade and Industry, kasi siya po ang principal user. Pag tinignan mo naman po yung USGS, nasaan po siya nakaluklok? Nakaluklok po siya sa Department of Interior, hindi po sa isang DOST. Ang relasyon po ng mga ahensyan to sa DOST, access to grants and aid, as well as of course, sa mga research funds po ng DOST. Ang DDR po ay may kakayahan upang pong mapanatili ang paglago ng siyensya sa loob po ng mga ahensyan to. I think we need, if you look at the evolution of our organizational design, it has been moving from essentially moving towards the user rather than what you might call a scientific context, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Your Honor. So, lilinawin ko lang din po uli. No? Ibig sabihin ito, pag naging batas na itong ating pinag-uusapan ngayon, no? At maitayo ang isang bagong departamento, Department of Disaster Resiliency, itong mga ahensyang ito, essentially, ay ililipat na dito sa DDR. Tama po ba yung
Tama po, absorb.
I-absorb na sila.
Pero wala pong resignation, wala pong retirement. They're just absorbed. Same There will be no diminution. It's just the supervision, Your Honor. So, halimbawa po, nagmi-meeting ang executive management, let's say, ng DDR, magiging kasama po yung kanila pong mga head of agencies dun po sa executive management na yun.
Okay, so, lilipat ho ako sa isa pang usapin. Doon ho naman sa usapin ng budget nito. Meron na ho bang projection? Halimbawa, itinayo natin ang departamentong ito. With this absorb or departments and probably additional bureaus, if you may, no, na gagawin, ano po ang nakikita nating magiging budget nito sa hinaharap?
Unang-una, Your Honor, pag sinumatotal mo yung lahat po na may existing budgets ay nasa 30.25 billion na po. If we assume, Your Honor, that these are the resources together with the calamity fund that the state will use against climate change, climate risk, and geological risk, Your Honor, then it will be more proportional than the current 1.3 billion that OCD has. Second, Your Honor, so basically, Your Honor, kung lahat po ng mga ahensyan to napagkaisa, in fact, Your Honor, may isang ahensya ng DSWD, yung kanilang community, mayroon pa isa. Another one, kay USEC Hope.
Disaster.
Po. Tuwan-tuwa po siya dito sa pagbuo. Siya mismo po pumunta para sabihin na ito isama mo. So isinama po namin ito pong Dream B. Kaya nga po, Your Honor, kung sakali sa mga dagdag, tingin pa na ko, Your Honor, ang 10 billion po, or additional 8.7 billion, Your Honor, we can have a fully functioning Department of Disaster Resilience on its first year.
Maraming salamat ho, Your Honor. Tama po ba rin ang aking pagkaintindi, no, na pag naging batas na ito at naging isang departamento na siya, all related disaster-related funds, no, will be managed by this new department. Tama po ba yun? Halimbawa, yung QRF, yung NDRRM Fund,
Opo.
yung People Survival Fund,
Opo.
etc. etc.
Opo.
Tama po.
Kasi mas maraming nawawala sa back and forth, Your Honor. Nawawalang oras at siguro nawawalang ibang bagay.
By the way, just for the record po, as we speak now, how much is this fund that we are talking to? Halimbawa, QRF, NDRRM Fund.
12 po yung isa.
Yung
Opo.
People Survival
Yung
Fund.
isa, 1 billion, di pa yung nagagalaw.
1 billion lang po?
Opo. Hindi yung nagagalaw. Kasi yun nga problema mo natin sa execution. Tumambling po yan papunta sa DOF.
So yung 1 billion na yan, yun yung ima-manage na pondo?
Hindi po.
Yan po yung aking katanungan. Sa ngayon ho kasi nakakalat ito, ano? Itong mga pondong ito.
Hindi po. Sila lang po ang...
So, pag naging isang departamento na ito, lahat na pondo, hahawakan na ng DDR. No?
Wala na ho tayong QRF na assigned to DOH, assigned to siya na.
So, siya na maghawak?
Opo, lahat.
Paano po yung sa ating mga lokal na pamahalaan?
Meron silang saling calamity fund na 5% na inaangat po natin sa 7%. At saka meron tayong additional funds pandem kung isang 3rd to 6th class municipalities para po sa kanilang capacity building, Your Honor.
Salamat po, Your Honor. Nitong nakaraan po, Your Honor, isa sa malaking puna, no, dito sa disaster funds na ito, at ito ay napuna rin ng COA, ang pagmamanage ng disaster funds. Merong mga pondo na dapat sana ay papunta doon sa disaster-related projects ay ginamit sa ibang kapamaraanan. Ano? Kaya nga po hanggang ngayon, ang tagal-tagal na nangyari yung Yolanda, kahit na yung usapin ng emergency
Shelter Assistance, ESAP.
ESAP, no? Hanggang ngayon, hindi na naging emergency, hindi pa rin natanggap no, ng ating mga kababayan. So dito paano ho, Your Honor, dito sa ahensyang ito, no, mapaplug yung ganong usapin, Your Honor?
Sila na lang mo sisisihin nyo, Your Honor. Ngayon kasi po, pwedeng nandun yan sa NHA, kung saan-saan po. Kaya nga po ngayon, we are trying to pin the duty and the responsibility and the liability as well as the functions and resources for this national imperative, Your Honor. So mas lilinaw po ang one-to-one correspondence between an expenditure and its utilization.
Hindi po ba, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, pag naisentro sa isang ahensya o sa isang departamento ang napakalaking pondong ito, ay mas lalong nagiging delikado ang ating pondo publiko, Your Honor, for corruption and for...
Situational po, Your Honor. Base po sa mga pag-aaral ko, nung ako po yung nag-aaral pa sa Asian Institute of Management, nakadepende po yan sa konteksto. Kaya sa pananaw ko, Your Honor, yung hindi naman po centralization, kundi integration ng lahat ng disaster functions sa isang departamento na uupo sa kabinete, ay mas lalo pong magiging visible and therefore more accountable, mas madali pong hanapin, mas madali pong makita kung hindi po nila ginagawa o hindi nila ginagamit sa tama. Hindi katulad po nun, ay mga maliliit na ahensya kung saan-saan, NHA, OCD. Sa ngayon po, yung OCD na magiging board po nito, na siya po magiging sentro ng DDR, eh, uupo sa kabinete. Lahat po ng programa ng gobyerno, uy, wag yan, bawal yan DOTR. Masisira ang ating, dadami disaster pag yan ginawa mo. Uy, ikaw, Laguna Lake, lalong babaha pag yan ginawa. In other words, Your Honor, many of these will essentially attain the kind of national visibility that it requires.
Salamat, Your Honor. Nilatag niyo po kanina pa hanggang ngayon, na napakahalaga talaga ng departamentong ito. Ang sunod ko hong katanungan, sa atin hong umiiral ngayon, na kalakaran, kahit na sa pagpupondo, sa pagbabudget, yung mga batayan, serbisyong pampubliko, at batayan, mga frontline agencies, ay tinatapyasan natin ang budget. Ano po ang, at napakaganda ng inyong mga sinabing objectives nitong pagtatayo ng departamentong ito. Now, Your Honor, ang tanong ko po, ano po ang kasiguruhan ng ating mamamayan na bibigyan ito ng tamang pondo ng ating pamahalaan, ng ating gobyerno in the sense that nakikita nga natin ngayon na ang mga frontline agencies ay cuts ng cuts ang ginagawa natin, Your Honor.
Your Honor, ewan ko kung ito na yung lugar para pag-usapan yan. Pero, hingin ko po ang pasensya. Ang budget po natin ngayon ang natapyasan, 2018, ng 417 billion under the cash-based budgeting na in-implement na po ngayon. Sa batid, yung ating pong next year actually is up 13%, Your Honor. Kasi base po sa absorptive capacity, yung kakayahan ng ating mga ahensya, yung matatapos nila ngayong taon, hindi nila kakayanin yung lahat. So, nakaupo sila sa napakalaki po na mga resources. Kaya po kung yun i-consider mo po, Your Honor, actually, pataas po yung budget kaysa pababa. Pero, kasi, ang pinag-usapan po dito yung kapasidad ng ahensyan to, mapapansin niyo, Your Honor, na laser beam focus, fixed ang focus po ng departamento. Isa lang po, ang lyrics ng kantan to, disaster risk.
Salamat po, Your Honor. Pupunta na ako sa huling issue na gusto kong maliwanagan. Nabanggit nyo kanina na kahit doon sa usapin, may nagpanukala from DSWD na kahit na yung kanilang core function, for example, on disaster, will also be included dito sa, dadalhin na rito sa departamentong ito. Matanong ko lang po, Your Honor, ilan ho ba ang nakikita nating mga kawani ng pamahalaan na inaasahan nating maapektuhan sa panukalang batas na ito?
Yung Bureau of Fire, 22,000. Yung OCD, magiging 1,600. Ngayon sila 600. Hindi ko hawak ah. Wait, Your Honor. Nasaan na yung summary ko? Nasaan yung summary of DDR? Tingin ko, Your Honor, 26,000. Pero 22,000 of that is essentially Bureau of Fire.
So the biggest is from the Bureau of Fire.
Yes, Your Honor.
What about from the DSWD?
I think, Your Honor, mga less than 100.
Less than 100.
Yes, Your Honor, because we're just getting really their relief operations. Lalong-lalo na yung kanilang napakagaling na repacking center dyan sa Taguig. Na gusto nating i-replicate sa mga central, sa mga gandang well-located po na mga katulad siguro isa pa sa north, isa po sa south, sa Bicol, isa po sa Iloilo, isa po sa Negros, isa po sa Cebu, o isa po sa apat siguro sa Mindanao, Your Honor. So kailangan natin ma-replicate yung napakagandang practice po ng DSWD.
Salamat po, Your Honor.
Bibigyan po ko sa iyo, Your Honor, yung list pa, dahan po ng lahat po ng affected employees.
Meron ho ba ang matatanggal na mga kawani natin sa pamahalaan?
Wala po.
So lahat ho ng mga ahensya na dadalhin natin rito, yung mga kawani doon ay they will be absorbed.
Opo.
Ilan ho ang, kung if they will be absorbed, ilan ho ba ang tinitingnan nating full complement ng departamentong ito in terms of personnel?
Tingin ko kung, kasi Your Honor, kailangan po talaga yung parang National Disaster Officer for Local Governments. Yan po ang pinakamalaking, pero 1,000 kagad po yun para sa lahat ng munisipyo, cities, at saka po mga provinces. So mga 1,400 kagad po yun. Kailangan lagyan mo po yun para mabantayan, makipag-ugnayan po sa local chief executive, pati na po para continuous po ang access nila sa capacity building resources po ng departamento. So, I would say, Your Honor, ang additional 2,000. 2,000.
Ilan ho?
2,000.
2,000. Okay. Isa hong napakalaking problema talaga rin sa pamahalaan ngayon. Ano? Kaya ito, I'm also worried na mangyayari rin dito sa departamentong ito. Napakarami hong mga job orders natin and contractual sa different departments. No? Even sa DSWD, alam niyo ho yan, napakaliit ng kanilang mga kawani dyan na permanente. No? Mas marami ang job orders, contractuals, and even contract of service. No? And I'm looking at the situation dahil itong gusto nating buuing departamento, no? ang pinanukala ninyong gawing departamento. Ang tanong ko po siguro, Your Honor, hindi na ho ba mangyayari ang nangyayari sa ibang ahensya na meron uling libo-libo mga contractuals or job orders dito sa departamentong ito?
Your Honor, kung 2,000 po wala, ang problema lang po, mantagal ng DBM gumawa ng OSSP. Yan po yung kanilang plantilla positions. Kaya nga po, minabuti po namin para we hit the ground running na yung mga existing po ay buuin kaysa po kami magtayo pa ng panibagong pag-asa, panibagong PBOX, panibagong MGB Geohazard, panibagong HEMS. So, Your Honor, mini-minimize natin except for, Your Honor, yung presensya po ng departamento sa bawat local government unit dahil hindi po natin inaalis ang primacy po ng local government bilang pinakapangunahin, first responder po. At siya po ang nagiging planner, first planner din po para sa kanyang community. So, sabi ko nga po, Your Honor, 2,000. So, kung ang matagal lang DBM, yun din, 2,000 job order.
Salamat po, Your Honor. So, ang lumalabas dito, Your Honor, ang magiging muscle talaga ng departamentong ito ay ang Bureau of Fire. Tama po ba yun?
Sa response po.
Sa response. So,
At saka sa training, Your Honor. Pero yung training po, Basic Life Support, PLS. At siguro po, Your Honor, sa pag-rescue, lalong-lalo na po sa mga damaged structure, collapsed structure. So, para po mas marami po matuto po sa mga rescue, lalong-lalo na sa isa pong hindi masyado na pag-aandaan, yan nga pong earthquake. So, di sa sinasabi ko, perfected na ho natin ang bagyo. Subalit po, ang hindi ho tayo talaga, wala ako nakikita pong meaningful except po yung mga drills na gustong-gusto ng mga estudyante dahil walang pasok.
maraming salamat po, Your Honor. Yun lang po ang aking mga katanungan para sa panukalang batas na ito. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we recognize Congresswoman Franz Castro of Teachers Party List for her interpellation.
Panantunan tayo po para po sa dangal, para sa human dignity. Dito po mahasa po yung Department of Disaster Resilience po, Your Honor. So, in that sense, Your Honor, it can be called out.
Okay. Nagkakaintindihan po tayo dun sa meaning nung natural disaster, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. So, ito yung binobrought out nung climate change. Sinabi nyo kanina na, so, sa criteria nung kung gaano kabilis o karami yung mga disaster na naranasan ng iba't ibang bansa, parang number 1 tayo sa Southeast Asia o sa buong
mundo
bansa.
po.
O sa buong mundo. So, ang natural disasters po, halimbawa yung mga typhoon, earthquake, volcanic eruption, including fire. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor. Pero yung iba po kasi dyan, human-induced. Pumapasok lang po yung fire dahil po andito yung Bureau of Fire. Hindi po natin naalisin sa kanila. Kasi, halimbawa sa akin sa Albay, Your Honor, sa 365 days po, Your Honor, nasa disaster mode lang ako ng 5 araw. So, pag binasa mo po, halimbawa, ang periodicity o ang frequency ng fire, hindi ko ba sinasabi na ang Bureau of Fire ay nag-aantay lang ng sunog, pero Your Honor, siya po yung armas ng gobyerno na pwedeng gamitin dahil po they're there to save lives, to stop the disaster. So, kumbaga, may pagkaparehas po yung kanilang functionality at itong departamentong to.
Okay. So magbigay nga po kayo, Mr. Sponsor, nung man-made na disaster.
Your Honor?
Yung human-inflicted na disaster.
Ang bawa, Your Honor, yung sinking doon sa may Iloilo, yung oil spill.
Okay.
That's man-made, Your Honor.
That is man-made disaster.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Halimbawa po yung mga...
Yung sinking po nung malaking barko doon sa Mindoro. Yung pagbukas na. Yung sinking ng ship, ano yun?
Yung mga paglubog po ng mga barko. Yung mga... Tama po ba?
Opo, that's a disaster. Dahil halos magtatatlong libo yata yung namatay doon, Your Honor.
So ito po, tutugunan din ng department.
It can be called out, Your Honor.
Yung mga...
Your Honor, ang word po doon ay consequence.
Yung mga displacement ng
po.
mga komunidad,
yes, po.
gawa po ng halimbawa conflict or militarization.
Yes.
Considered po ba ito as disaster?
Yes po.
So
it's not a disaster but it is part of the mandate that consequence management.
Okay, kasi nasa definition talaga siya, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Pati yung, how about demolition?
Po?
Demolition.
Your Honor, mukhang wala akong kapasidad kahit sa buong mundo ang ganitong klaseng departamento para po mas nagiging police power po ng Estado kaysa emergency responder po.
Okay.
Kasi otherwise, Your Honor, you can only respond to something if you can stop the cost. Since the department does not have that authority or mandate to stop the cost of the, ang tawag dyan? Pag-iba ng mga bahay, I don't think, Your Honor, that will be capacitated.
Hindi siya kasama.
Your Honor, yes.
Mr. Sponsor, meron pong pananaw ang mga people's movement ukol sa dahilan o sakuna at maybe criminal negligence ng ating pamahalaan sa mga nasalanta. Halimbawa po sa karanasan natin sa Ondoy, sa Yolanda, sa Ruby, sa Senyang at iba pang bagyo at mga earthquake katulad na nangyari po sa Bohol at sa Cebu. So may mga causes of disaster po. Halimbawa, ito po ay bunga ng mga development aggression. So kahit na hindi naman po natin nahihiling, pero katulad po na nangyari halimbawa sa Kalamansig, halimbawa sa Sultan Kudarat. Alam niyo, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, first time in history, sinasabi ng ating mga mamamayan doon na nagkaroon ng flash flood. Hindi po ni minsan sa kasaysayan na nagkaroon. Pero nagkaroon dito ng mga widespread mining, logging, mga hindi naman, siguro logging and mining po dito sa binanggit kong halimbawa. So both in public and private na mga infra, pero parang wala naman pong concern ito doon sa tinatawag nating resilience. Kasi economic aggression ito, development aggression, na magkukos talaga ng disaster kung hindi ito, kung talagang dire-diretso ito katulad nga na nangyari. Sa mga example natin sa Pablo, tapos yung sa Kalamansig area po yung recently. So, paano po tinitignan ng ating sponsor itong mga ganitong mga development aggression? So, paano po makakatulong yung ating department sa mga ganitong mga situation?
Kasi, Your Honor, yung departamento, unang-una po sa LGU level po, Your Honor, kasi sila po talaga ang first responder pagdating po dyan sa mga ganong klase.
Pero hindi po ba dapat may preventive tayo?
Opo, dito po.
Kukonsultahin po ba halimbawa ang department sa pagbibigay ng mga permit dito sa mga mining na to, sa mga logging, wala?
To the extent, Your Honor, na dumaan yung proposal sa kabinete, Your Honor, yes. Ang ibig sabihin, or if the DNR will as is really the protocol, consult the risk profile of a particular project before it implements. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So, dalawa po yung entrada po dyan. Lahat po ng proyekto na dumadaan sa kabinete dahil nakaupo doon yung Disaster Resilience Secretary. Pangalawa, kung ang ating pong magkaroon po ng mga protocols kung saan po, let's say, ang DNR o iba pong mga housing agencies, idaan po sa kanila kung ano po yung mga...
So, parang sinasabi po ng ating dakilang sponsor, Mr. Speaker, na itong department na ito ay magiging reactive lang instead na proactive. Kasi nakita natin, Mr. Sponsor, kasi yung nagkukos ng mga ganitong klaseng disaster man-made ito, na kung we have prevented this, hindi mangyayari.
Yung sinasabi niyo po, Madam, kung super department po kami, nililimitahan nga po namin, Your Honor, na i-focus po sa masasabi po natin well within po ng kapasidad ng isang ditong departamento. Dahil sa bilang pala ng bagyo, baha, at yung pinaka-biggest killer, which is really heat wave or drought, they already have enough on their hands, Your Honor. So, Your Honor, ang principal instrument po doon is really the Comprehensive Land Use Plan, Your Honor. In fact, the Comprehensive Land Use Plan, the Local Climate Change Adaptation Plan, and the Local Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan. Yun po yung tatlong instrumento. Yun po talaga yung pinaka first line of defense ng Department of Disaster Resiliency na bigyan ng kapasidad kasi kung minsan fill in the blanks ang ginagawa ng mga LGU. Bakit? Kasi walang pera, nagmamadali, wala ho silang siyensya at talagang wala ho sila nung masasabi nating personnel dahil napakamahal po ng intellectual resources dito po sa Pilipinas.
Okay. Another cause po ng disaster ay yung mismong post-disaster na ina-undertake ng ating gobyerno na nag-i-increase ng casualties and death. Ito po yung slow recovery, intensified poverty dahil no funding ang LGU, DSWD, DOH, DepEd, DPWH, and other agencies related to disaster response, aid, rehabilitation, reconstruction, failure of devolution. So paano po ito mapapagtahi-tahi ng ating Department of Disaster Resilience?
Wala na siyang alibay. Wala na siya ibang matuturo. Hindi niya pwede siya DSWD. Nasa kanya relief. Hindi niya pwede sisihin ng NEDA. In the first place, wala siyang kapasidad na magbuo ng isang rehabilitation plan o building back forward or build them back better. Dahil wala naman ho talaga sa loob ng NEDA, ng staff o ng isang field personnel para po gawin ito. So in other words, Your Honor, yung tinatawag niyo pong maladaptation, basically, lalong-lalo na sa front end. Ibig sabihin, ito ay akala mo nakakabawas ng peligro pero actually nagpaparami. Sa tingin ko, mas magiging conscious po itong departamento to dahil nasa kanya po buong-buo ang duty, national duty, ang responsibility, ang functions, pati na po ang liability. So may isa na lang tayong sisin. So hopefully po, Your Honor, hindi ko naman sinasabi na hindi mangyayari yung nangyayari sa Peru na officially ang kanila pong death toll ay 57 pero after analysis, gawa ng sabi niyo po, yung mabagal na recovery ay umabot po ng 2,998 po. Yung actual na bilang po nung namatay. So, Your Honor, makakatulong po ang pagbuo ng departamento to upang hindi po maulit yung nangyari po sa Puerto Rico.
Okay. Ito po, special concerns to, Mr. Sponsor, on education sector. So, ano po yung magiging role ng ating mga schools, yung ating mga personnel like teacher and teaching personnel as disaster respondents. Ayun po. So, ito po ba yung ating mga eskwelahan na minsan kadalasan ginagamit sa mga evacuation centers ay makakabilang po ba dito sa ating departamento?
Kasi ngayon po...
paano po yun, ano po yung magiging organizational role ng ating mga
meron po, mahalaga po ang mga teachers
sector.
dahil po isasama na po, nakalag dito sa batas, yung pagsama po sa curriculum at sa mga textbook po ng disaster risk reduction at climate change mitigation sa mga age-appropriate grades. Ano bang grades yun? Grades 2 to 11, Your Honor, papasok po sa curriculum nila. Ngayon po kasi, sa amin po sa Albay, ginawa ko namin, pero ngayon, sa tingin ko, sa batas na to, kakayanin po nila. At pangalawa, pagdating po sa akademya, kasi sila po may pinakamaraming access 26 million ang hawak nila So kung gusto mo matuto na maaga, kailangan mo talaga ang partnership po sa DepEd, lalong-lalo na sa mga teachers natin po. So pangatlo, ngayon po kasi, yung pagsiset po ng mga evacuation center, masasabi natin hindi masyadong scientific o walang scientific basis. Kaya po hindi tayo nakakapagsagawa ng malawakan na pagtatayo po o ng tayo po ng mga evacuation center para ma-minimize po yung disruption ng mga classes. Subalit, Your Honor, sa amin po, sa Albay, we uphold the priority rights of IDPs over the pupils in the use of classrooms. Kasi buhay yun Pwede ka naman matuto after. So, Your Honor, this department will certainly help in formulating. Kasi nakafocus lang siya po doon how disaster affect education, for example, Your Honor, and how education can reduce disasters.
Okay. So yung ating pong mga teachers, mga personnel, hindi na po sila magkakaroon ng extra work like disaster respondents pagdating ng panahon.
Dapat po may bayad.
Okay. Dapat merong ano.
Sa amin po sa Albay, binabayaran ko po sila.
Okay.
Kasi nga po may...
isa po ito sa mga extra work ng ating mga
They're automatically
personnel.
out camp manager and we train them to be camp manager. Kasi nga po, baka mawala po yung blackboard, mawala po yung mga silya. So, immediately po, once you are designated as an evacuation center, the principal or the head teacher immediately becomes the camp administrator, Your Honor. So, kailangan namin silang suportahan in terms of resources. Kailangan po natin bigyan din sila ng training.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. No? May mga ilang batas po tayo na mga maapektuhan nitong pag-create natin ng departamento, like yung Local Government Code, yung National Building Code, yung National Fire Code, Philippine Disaster Reduction and Management Act. Kumusta na po, Mr. Sponsor, like yung Price Act, kasi kasama din po ba yung halimbawa sa mga calamity area, so syempre merong tungkol sa presyo ng mga pangunahing mga bilihin, narito merong immediate na response po tungkol sa price control. Ito po yung mga ilang sa mga batas po natin, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker. Kumusta na po ba? Na-review po ba natin o na-assess natin itong mga batas na ito?
Sabi ko nga kanina, Your Honor, the overarching philosophy here is to empower the individual as far as possible by providing the national framework. There's nothing that we are, wala ko kami kinukuha sa local government units o sa local communities ng kanila pong primacy na pangatawanan ang kanilang sarili pong paglago bilang isang komunidad o bilang isang pamilya. In fact, Your Honor, this is a well-crafted, ma'am, kung mabalikan, 1 taon po to na sunset review. Na-create po yung technical working group, August 27, 2017. Nagkaroon po kami ng 13 regional consultations, 4 na technical working group, 3 committee hearings. Sa Your Honor, talagang pagbabasahin niyo po yung unang sunset review and you do a content analysis between this bill and the content review, you can almost say na except for the solutions na which were propounded, Your Honor. So, in short, Your Honor, this bill, this law, DDR, will essentially help empower all state actors and the communities to follow the law and therefore enhance the welfare of the people. So the whole logic, Your Honor, is that hindi ho sila makapag-comply dahil wala hong training, wala hong capacity. So, Your Honor, this, what you call mega, which is not really mega, which is really right-sizing ang isang maliit na sa tulad ng OECD, para maging mas proportional po ang response natin sa risk profile po ng Pilipinas. So, Your Honor, pinag-aralan na maigi. In fact, all these laws will have better chances of being implemented with the creation of DDR.
Sir, thank you po, Mr. Sponsor. Meron po tayong mga specialized na mga agencies and institution like yung Pag-asa, yung tungkol sa sa volcano, yung
PHIVOLCS.
Okay, pero parang napansin ko po, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, dahil ito talaga yung scientifically nagde-determine yung mga darating na mga dilubyo o darating na mga problema. So, nakita natin dito yung parang token mention lang sila as support. And in fact, sa funding nga, kung titignan natin sa 2019 budget, napakaliit ng kanilang funding na matagal na nilang sinasabi na dapat ay dagdagan sila ng pondo para mas maganda yung kanilang mga facilities, technical, yung kapasidad ba. So parang dito po sa batas, sa ating pinopropose na batas, parang token mention lang sila at hindi, walang pagpapahalaga.
Di po yung token, Your Honor.
Dito sa sa Pag-asa at sa PhilBook. So paano po, kasi nabasa ko yan sa 36, Section 36B.
Opo.
Tama po ba ako na parang token mention lang ito? Baka dapat itong bigyan ng mas malaking pagpapahalaga dito sa bill.
We wanted to respect, Your Honor, the organizational integrity of Pag-asa. but putting that organizational integrity in the service of risk reduction, Your Honor. That as far as possible, the mention of PAGASA there is only with respect that they will now be supervised by DDR rather than by DOST. That's why what you might call as a token mention, but that single section, Your Honor, essentially is the heart and soul. Because, Your Honor, Your Honor, bago po ako magpalabas ng advisory, dahil yun ang DDR, tinatanong ko muna yung PAGASA. Eh kung tatakbo po ako doon, kasi kung minsan, Your Honor, there is, even despite all the social media and all the technology, face-to-face interaction remains one of the most important element of decision-making, Your Honor. So, hanggat hindi ko naririnig, halimbawa, si June Dalida, na nandun sa Bicol, hindi ko naririnig kung anong gagawin, Your Honor, magdadalawang isip ako, magpalabas po ng advisory kung evacuate na ba o hindi. So, Your Honor, importante po, dahil sila po, ang binigyan natin, dapat binigyan po natin ng duty, dapat bigyan din po natin ng wherewithal o ng means para po magawa nila ang kanilang duty.
So, ibig po sabihin ba, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, so bibigyan natin ng budget para ang
may lalaban
mas
na para sa budget
ang mga ahensya na ito para mas lalo pa nilang mapahusay yung kanilang mag-predict or
Dalawang bagay po, Your Honor. Number one, ay naiintindihan naman po natin na sa ganitong mga panahon, pag nag-propose ka ng ganito, sasabihin agad, it's another line of bureaucracy, incremental spending. But here, Your Honor, we're just essentially assembling. Alam mo po, Your Honor, meron po itong pagkaintulad sa pagbuo po sa Estados Unidos po ng Department of Homeland Security. Kung saan po lahat po ng mga existing na tumutulong po para ma-achieve nung Department of Homeland Security ay linagay. Kaysa naman po bumuo ng mga bago, yan po ang magastos. At dadaan ka pa po ng malaking gugugol ka na maraming panahon bago po may mabuo natin. So, Your Honor, first, we try to avoid duplicating because kung hindi po pumayag halimbawa ang PAGASA, DDR definitely needs its own science-based forecasting on climate sciences, Your Honor. There is no escaping. Science must be put in the service of risk reduction, Your Honor. There's no escaping that. And in this sense, Your Honor, it should be under the Department of Disaster Resilience.
So, sa pananaw po, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, ng kinatawang ito, parang konti po yung pagpapahalaga natin o medyo hindi po sapat yung pagpapahalaga natin in terms of budgeting dito sa mga ahensya nito na nagpapakadalubhasa.
Lalaki po yan, Your Honor?
Doon sa pag-prevent o pag-predict ng anumang mangyayaring disaster. So, sige po. Kapag ganito po, ano naman po yung role ng research and development dito? Mahalaga, Mr. Sponsor, na meron po tayong sapat na ilalaan na mekanismo ng research and development para po ma-prevent natin yung mga disasters o anumang mangyayaring mga kalamidad.
Unang-una po, it starts
so, wala po yata rito.
It starts with the community, Your Honor. Kaya kinikilala ulit ang kontribusyon ng indigenous knowledge. Pagdating po sa kung anong dapat gawin ng mga komunidad, lalong-lalo ang pagrespeto sa dangal at lalong-lalo na sa kultura. Alam niyo po doon sa amin sa Albay, we have a complete set of protocols with respect to indigenous knowledge. Na pag tumakbo na po yung daga, alam niyo na po yung mainit sa ilalim, na pag umakyat na po yung langgam, malapit na po yung bagyo, or something like that, Your Honor. I'm not sure about those indigenous knowledge, but they are certainly a source of knowledge. Pangalawa po, Your Honor, pag binasa niyo po to, doon pa lang po sa principles. Very clear po dito sa principles, principle number 19 ay 17. Ensure the use of advanced science and most up-to-date technologies in climate change adaptation, disaster risk and vulnerability reduction, and management through engagement, consultation, employment, with the regular department funding of academe or higher education such as UP, UPRI, and UP NOAA. Kaya kanina tinatanong ko asan ang NOAA, nandito po. It is being recognized, Your Honor, as essentially being one of the most successful experiences or experiments in climate sciences in the world. So kinikilala kagad po at pagdating po sa gitna, Your Honor, ano po yung pag-establish ng the whole section, a whole chapter, Chapter 8, Climate and Disaster Research, Education and Training Institute. Na kung saan po, after approval of this act, yung Climate Disaster and Research Institute, Training Institute, halos pinangalan po ito doon sa pinakamagaling kong tao, Cedric, ay gagawa po ng mga pag-usap sa mga SUCs. At ito po ay magsasagawa at it's an entire section, Your Honor, that essentially recognizes the need for training as well as, of course, the contribution to nation building of our academia, Your Honor, through the policy domain called disaster risk reduction.
Okay. So, maganda po. Natuwa po ako, nabanggit niyo yung mga indigenous way. Kasi merong mga talagang kanya-kanyang pamamaraan ang mga komunidad, ang tao sa komunidad, kung paano makaka-cope dun sa disaster. Dahil ito na yung naging experience nila. Katulad na sinasabi niyo po sa Bicol. So, katulad po ng experience sa San Francisco, Camote Islands po. Meron po ito po yung home of 40,000 individuals prone to dangerous monsoon winds and lethal typhoons. Natuto sila sa Typhoon Ruping noong 1990, kaya gumawa ng purok system. Isang indigenous method ng self-organization at sa sub-village level, may capital build-up. Program kung saan voluntaryong nagde-deposit ang mga tao ng pera para sa initial capital for emergency at post-disaster assistance fund. May purok coordinators bilang couriers ng info sa mga residente. Matatag din ang info dissemination at regular drills nila. At naging susi po, Mr. Sponsor, yung purok system kung bakit maagap ang pre- at post-disaster response noong Yolanda, kung bakit ang San Fran ay tinawag ng the island where all survived, at kung bakit nagawaran ng 2011 na award ng UN. Okay? So,
tinalo niyo po ako eh. Tinalo niyo po ako. Para sa Sakawa Award.
Opo.
Kami
tama.
po yung naglaban na dalawa.
Tama po, sa Sakawa Award for Disaster Risk Reduction ng UN.
That is the
Pero
Nobel
paano
Prize
po,
of DRR.
opo, so dito po ba sa sinasabi niyong chapter nung ating bill, pwede pong mailagay itong
Opo.
mga ganitong klaseng pagsisikap ng mga komunidad?
In fact, hindi po pwedeng ilagay. Mandato po. Na lahat po ng mga best practices po ay maging basehan ng mga gagawin po at pagpapalaganap po ng kaalaman po ng DDR.
Okay. So,
natuto po ako sa Bantayan, ay sa Camotes Island, pero pagdating po sa mas formal na mga paraan, dinala rin po namin doon yung aming APSEMO para po mag-share po kami ng, marami pong shared experiences po and learnings po yung dalawang, yung Albay pati po yung Camotes Island.
Okay. Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, parang nakikita ko po dito maraming provisions for tapping the private sector, pero no concrete assurance of adequate funding and institutional support for agencies related to disaster preparedness, resilience, etc. Halimbawa po, meron sa Section 22, Synergy with Stakeholders. Section 23, Multi-Stakeholders Convergence Unit. Section 5B, 6, at iba pa po.
Ano po yan mga
Ano po ba to sa konkreto? Paano po ba, alam natin na malaki ang may tutulong ng private sector, pero katulad nga ng pinauna ko kanina, no? Ang mga komunidad po may mga indigenous na pamamaraan na kung susuportahan lang po natin ang komunidad, madali sila makaka-cope. Pero kung papasukan po natin parang mas maraming provision yata ng involvement ng private, so paano po ba ang mangyayari dito?
Una-una po ba parang yung ating definition po ng private ay anything between the national government and the local community is called private. That is the UN definition. And all these provisions, Your Honor, were essentially recommended by the UNISDR. Ito pong pag-mobilize ng resources, pati na po ng research o ng kaalaman o ng kakayahan ng private sector. You see, Your Honor, the government accounts for only 17% of GDP. So, of course, it's well, it's common sense. What do you do with the 83%?
Okay.
That is in the hands of the business sector.
Naaalala ko, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, yung nangyari sa Yolanda. Nung nagkaroon po ng Yolanda, na isang tabi yung mga komunidad at nagtayo ng mga ilang private na mga struktura doon. So yun po ba yung isa sa mga papel nila?
Hindi po. Alam niyo, Your Honor, kasi hindi pa well organized yung basic communities doon. Ngayon po na well organized na po sila, may sarili na po silang Public Safety and Emergency Management, meron na po silang Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office, meron na po sila, ibig sabihin, well organized na po siya, Your Honor. Ay sa pananaw ko, Your Honor, yun po kasi, Your Honor, para pang puno lang, kaysa may mamatay, kaysa may magutom, kaysa may mawala ng hanap buhay. So, Your Honor, ano lang po yun? Ang pangpuno lang po. Kung ang Estado po ay hindi kinakaya dahil po sa konteksto, sa kondisyon, doon po sa ground, dapat lang naman siguro, Your Honor, kung sino yung nando na at pwedeng gamitin, ay dapat gamitin to save one more life, Your Honor.
Okay. And dito naman po sa sinasabi natin, Mr.
Page by page ba tayo?
Hindi, last na po. Last na po yung aking... dito po, Mr. Pagod na po. So,
Hindi
ito
po, okay lang ako. Para mapagandaan ko
last
po.
na po. Yung tungkol naman po sa calling out power. So, nakikita natin dito yung Department Secretary to exercise command and control. So, parang meron siyang katumbas na powers ng presidente, yung call out power ba? Kasi nakalagay dito yung meron siyang control and power over PNP and other law enforcement agencies during imminent and actual disaster.
Opo.
Ito na naman po tayo sa word na imminent. Ano po ba ibig sabihin ng imminent na na-define po ba
Sa
yan
Albay
po?
po may definition yan. It's called PAR plus 5. Philippine Area of Responsibility plus 5 days before. That's
Okay.
imminent disaster. At saka there is within reasonable forecast of pag-asa, kaya nga po kailangan talaga ng pag-asa ay nasa loob, that it will be major, it will be critical, significant, and it will affect a lot of population. So it becomes an imminent because sa forecast track, hindi ho siya pupunta siya ng Albay at hindi siya pupunta elsewhere. Pangalawa, hindi ho siya basta-basta po na ganong rainfall, although rainfall now are just as risky like anyway, like especially in Metro Manila when people are not prepared. So, Your Honor,
So, i-define po yan, Mr. Sponsor,
Po?
siguro, dun sa...
pero Your Honor, para ano lang to provides the President of delegating these powers to the department.
Okay. So, yun na lang po, Mr.
Ay,
Sponsor,
salamat po.
yung aking mga katanungan.
Ang hirap mo pala.
Ang hirap na hirapan
Nanay
po
ko
ba kayo?
teacher, pero hindi ako pinahirapan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Sponsor.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend consideration of House Bill number 8165.
Meron pa ba?
Is there an objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, under the business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 8143 as contained in Committee Report number 832. With this, Mr. Speaker, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill without prejudice to the insertion in the records of the text thereof.
Is there any objection?
House Bill 8143. as contained in Committee Report 832.
Secretary General is so directed.
House Bill 8143, an act mandating the Department of Public Works and Highways to prioritize the construction of the necessary infrastructure to ensure the accessibility of all tourism sites in the country and appropriating funds therefore.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
No, city. Nag-manifest na lang siya. It's all about UP NOAA. Tapos na yan. Yes. Sabi paalam sa akin, Joey, ano na lang, manifestation na lang. So basically, ito na lang. Tapos na siya. Tapos na ho siya na, man sa Chema, nag-manifest na po siya. Ngayon, nag-manifest siya. Oo, siya nagtawag kay P. Ayun siya. Ito ba si P?
Session is resumed.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Vice Chairperson of the Committee on Tourism, the Honorable Frederick Shaw of Iligan City, be recognized to become sponsorship of this measure.
The Honorable Shao is recognized for the sponsorship.
Mr. Speaker, may we request that the explanatory note of the bill be entered as the sponsorship speech. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate the honorable sponsor, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. Same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee or individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 8143.
All those in favor of House Bill number 8143 say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 8143 is hereafter approved on second reading.
Mr. Speaker, we have additional reference of business. May I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the said committee report.
The Secretary is so directed.
Report by the Committee on Poverty Alleviation, the Committee on Appropriations, Committee Report 853, House Bill number 8217.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report by the Committee on Appropriations, Committee Report number 854 on House Bill number 8169.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we approve Journal number 17, dated September 10, 2018. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the change of referral of the following measures House Bill number 1455, from the Committee on Basic Education and Culture to the Committees on Basic Education and Culture and Higher and Technical Education. House Bill number 3828, from the Committee on Basic Education and Culture to the Committees on Basic Education and Culture and Higher and Technical Education. House Bill number 5679, from the Committee on Justice to the Committee on Poverty Alleviation. House Bill numbers 6461 and 7171, and House Resolution number 1610, from the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation to the Committees on Higher and Technical Education and Civil Service and Professional Regulation. House Bill number 6736, from the Committee on Information and Communications Technology to the Committees on Ways and Means and Information and Communications Technology. House Bill number 7289 and 7935, from the Committee on Trade and Industry to the Committees on Trade and Industry and Health. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, I move that...
Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we include additional co-authors to House Bill numbers 8110, 8172, and 8186, and House Resolution number 292 as contained in the list to be submitted by the Committee on Rules. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Same is approved. Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session is resumed.
Yes. On the part of the majority, Mr. Speaker, we'd like to elect the Committee on Economic Affairs as Vice Chairperson, Ron P. Salo, Vice Josephine Ramirez Satos. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Games and Amusements as Vice Chairperson, Rogelio Neil P. Roque, Vice Henry S. Waminal. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Housing and Urban Development as Vice Chairperson, Crystal L. Bagatsing, Vice Christopher Y. Belmonte, and as member, Jose Christopher Y. Belmonte, Vice Crystal L. Bagatsing. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the part of the majority, for the Committee on Muslim Affairs as Vice Chairperson, Raymond Democrito C. Mendoza, Vice Mahmoud D. Mending Jr., and as member, Mahmoud D. Mending Jr., Vice Raymond Democrito C. Mendoza. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity, as Vice Chairpersons, Henry C. Ong, Vice Christopher Y. Belmonte, Maria Carmen S. Zamora, Vice Amihilda J. Sangkopan, and as member, Jose Christopher Y. Belmonte, Vice Henry C. Ong. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Rules, as Deputy Majority Leader, we'd like to elect Alexandria P. Gonzalez. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
As Assistant Majority Leader, Florida P. Robes, Vice Ben-Hur B. Lopez Jr. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship Development, as Vice Chairperson, Carmelo B. Lazatin II, Vice Jocelyn C. Lim Kai Chong, and as members, Jocelyn C. Lim Kai Chong, Vice Carmelo B. Lazatin, and Peter Onabia. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Tourism, as Vice Chairperson, Micaela S. Violago, Vice Jocelyn C. Lim Kai Chong, and as member, Jocelyn C. Lim Kai Chong, Vice Micaela S. Violago. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Ways and Means, as Chairperson, Estrelita B. Swansing, Vice Dakila Castro E. Kua, and as Vice Chairperson, Dakila Carlo E. Kua, Vice Jocelyn C. Lim Kai Chong, and as member, Jocelyn C. Lim Kai Chong, Vice Estrelita B. Swansing. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Ecology, as Chairperson, Dakila Carlo E. Kua, Vice Estrelita B. Swansing. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The same is approved.
On the Committee on Disaster Management, as member, Estrelita B. Swansing. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
On the Special Committee on Climate Change, as Vice Chairperson, B.P. Bardone, Vice Francis Gerald A. Abaya. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The same is approved.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other matter, I'd like to move we adjourn till 3 o'clock, Wednesday, September 12. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Session is adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, September 12, 2018 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay.